And welcome to Business Party Podcast. It's been a couple weeks. We didn't even go last week because weren't even in town. We went to Wrong Dependence, Tennessee, out in Tennessee, and Davey about died. So
Yeah,
it's been a hell of a time.
it's been a rough couple of weeks. There's just so much going on and so much happening, and yeah, I got colonitis,
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
yeah, that was not fun. That was I felt like death, fever, and what
That's what Old
else?
Boy got too. Whenever he had to Brock Lesnar when he had to be out of the UFC for a little while, he had that. I think it
That,
was like I think
oh
that was
no,
the
I think
same
he had
shit.
colitis
Oh,
when one of
colitis.
those like little
Oh
pieces
yeah,
of
yeah,
nuts or something gets stuck in your
yeah.
colon or
Oh, you
something like that.
okay? Yeah,
By the way,
yours was. You ate old, basically
I
day old
ate
food.
yeah, day old food and my listen, I've done it
Classic
my
guy maneuver.
I've done it my entire life. I've done it my entire life. I'm just Amanda's
Hmm.
going through the fridge and she's just like, and she goes to throw something. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you doing? She's like, this expired 3 months ago. I was like, it's barbecue sauce. It's fine. Shut up. Just leave it in there. And so like,
The mayonnaise
so
is old. I know. Now it's Miracle Whip. That tang. That's called patience. You got to wait for it. No.
well, listen. Before we get into anything,
Yeah.
let's introduce our guest, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Rogers from Choices Not Chances, a part of the Business Party Network. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hell
What's
yeah.
up? What's up? What's up?
Good to have you on, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Always fun.
Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, so I was near death, fever, headache, dude. I feel bad for people who get migraines, bro. Like
Oh
I've
yeah.
never like experienced like
Migraines,
a
no bueno.
Yeah.
no, no. I don't envy it. I had it for 5 days straight, and it was brutal, and everything hurt. My whole body, like I had a fever, uh. I had the chills, I had the shakes. It was everything, everything. I couldn't, dude. I drank one sip of water, and it was like the fucking it was like the day Jesus said for the rains to come down and Noah built the ark in the toilet. That's how bad it
Oh
was.
no.
It was so,
Oh.
dude. I was dehydrated. Everything. It was bad. It took 2 trips to the hospital. Like, and I don't go to the hospital ever. Like, I never. I've been in the
That,
hospital
Uh,
yeah, that's
as
pretty
an
wild.
adult. As an adult, as a
Right.
child, I was always at the hospital because I was always doing something that I got hurt and shit like that. But
Yeah.
as an
Now
adult,
as adults, we're like, if I ain't dying.
yeah, and I was. It was, man. It's like you went to the hospital. I'm like, yes. And I went to the
Yeah.
hospital. Dude, they did a spinal tap.
That's what's
Nothing.
a
crazy.
bad one.
That's crazy.
Mm.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah. So I had to get a spinal tap. Um, yeah. And
Those aren't pleasant. Like,
no,
No.
yeah.
no, especially when you have a bad back, you know, it's just it's and they're like, oh, go just lean over to your side. I'm like, you know, it just fucking hurts. They're like, hey, you gotta do it. You gotta be like a cat. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you and your cat, you cat. By the way,
I'm gonna nimbly bimbly in my chest. What is that from Super Troopers?
oh
Am I
wait,
Bouncing around all nimbly bimbly.
hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
What up?
Biden's talking.
Okay.
Oh shit. Amanda said that 1 minute.
I was gonna
in and-
say, isn't he doing his speech or whatever?
Can
Sorry,
we put
guys.
that up? Can we put that up or no?
Yeah.
Yep, putting it out now.
Hell yeah.
Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period.
Mm.
I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence. Our planet from climate crisis is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know,
Interesting.
I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. You know, we've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. But we came together as Americans. We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known.
You can hear him swallowing.
I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked, as he emerged from the convention going on, whether the founders had given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. Thank you.
All right, President Biden there with really poignant sound.
Did he resign?
No.
Did I miss like
Is
the
it-
first? I must have. Oh, hi everyone.
Hi.
Here.
What was the time on that? Because there's an over under of 12 minutes that a lot of people were betting on.
I
Third-
know. I
13.
13 over. Okay. I had to know
I,
that.
know, I
but,
wrote that in our show notes too. I was like, what do you think the over under is?
right. Yeah. Legal's definitely wrong in creating jobs. They went back after the dramatic cold, and violent crime rates are down because people stopped reporting and arresting people. So that is exactly true.
Meanwhile,
Well,
New
here's
York's
my-
reporting 11% increase in crime. Sorry.
Hmm.
Oh no, I was gonna say. So if he's doing such a phenomenal job, then why isn't he running?
Because he's dying.
Yeah, I think it's because he's dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but it would be nice. Obviously, they're not going to say that, but it would be nice if he actually was like, "Well, I have a very bad thing going on," or whatever. But we never get any transparency. So
No.
No.
Also,
Did you guys notice that he, right there at the end of all the things he said he's doing and going to continue to do, he hit every single wicket from Trump's RNC speech, every single
Mhm.
one of them.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then if you're going to boast about the things you accomplished, they should be correct. Some of those weren't, notably the border. That's not, there's no
Correct
way
at
that's
all.
correct. I mean, I'll look it up and see, but I don't believe that that's correct. And then right there at the end, he race baits and gender baits to prop up that base, right?
Mhm.
I said I would appoint the first black woman, did that, and then he appointed the trans or sexually fluid, whatever. I don't know if it's Air Force or who it is,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
right up at the top there. And so it's like, yeah, he just pandered to the base. That should have been expected.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's once again, if anything that assassination attempt showed you is DEI doesn't work. DEI does not work. And they went and during the hearings and everything like that, and they're like, no, DEI is, that's not what we were talking about. That's not what, and then she was saying how everybody's proficient in the same things. I have, and I'll find it. The woman's performance for Secret Service, the woman's good is the man's very poor. So the woman gets a 3 while the man gets a 0. And you're telling me that's fine. That's equivalent to
Right.
to
No, they
everything.
did that with the military too, man. I was an instructor at Infantry Training Battalion when they started sending the first females through Infantry Training Battalion, right? At first it was like a game is what they acted like. And then all of a sudden it was real. And I'll be honest with you, and I've told this to many people since then, there were some hard ass female Marines that came through there and they could do the work, like they could put out, there's no doubt. The problem, there's multiple problems in that whole scenario. Sex with the troops amongst each other being among the top. You're talking about all the alpha male and females of the of the force going out to do extreme behavior, and they're all 18 to 25 for the most part, and they're shacked up together, and they're maybe losing their life tomorrow. You don't think they're gonna have some morale boosters of their own, and then it becomes breakdown of unity of command. Why? Because let's say she's fucking the squad leader, and then all of a sudden they stop fucking and she goes and fucks one of the squad leader's subordinates. You think that's not going to cause a problem? You know what I mean? And it's not that they can't do the work, but my question to the sons or to the fathers and mothers of America would be, why would you want them to do the work? Who is it that wants to shove our baby girls out to the front lines?
I mean,
Who's pushing that?
Right.
And why would you push it?
Right.
Can some of them do it? Yeah, they can. Why? Why would we do that? We're already
Yeah.
sons.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot more that goes into it. But yeah, in the Marine Corps, we lowered the standards. They realized that the females could barely pass the male standards, so they dropped weight, and they dropped this, and they dropped that. And when you start to change the standard, this is the scary part of it. You're trying to fit this DEI, which equals DIE to me, especially in the game of assassinations, with women that aren't big enough to even hoist this man up.
Right. That too, and like I also like whenever that lady was like trying to fucking put her gun away, whatever else.
Gun into her
my
credentials.
God.
My whole thing is like as they're going around, you could tell who has never had cortisol running through their fucking system and able.
Well,
to
here's
fucking
one
get
thing
it-
I'll
get it
say
through.
about that. Like, the thing I would say about that is I've seen many people under fire and been in intense situations, and I'm not going to say I ever tried to holster my weapon into my badge. What I am going to say is when the worst possible scenario hits in Butler, Pennsylvania, in a field that nobody thought that would happen at, in an area that nobody expected that to happen at, there's going to be endorphins and like you say, cortisol, and that chemical cocktail of testosterone is going to drop down that spinal column, and they're going to shake, and they're not going to know what to do because it's pure chaos. And so, like, do I think she should be trained good enough if you're on the ground detail for the President of the United States to be able to holster that weapon under any conditions? Yeah, I think that, but nobody really knows if they can do it until you're in that situation. And it turns out a lot of people can't overcome, you know, something that happens when your body goes into fight and flight mode is called shunting. And shunting is where your body's going to reroute all of your blood to your vital organs so that your eyes and ears and thought is clearer and better, and you're pumping, your heart's going to pump those lungs because it knows you're in for a fight. That happens. Well, the downside of shunting is that you lose mass dexterity in your fine motor skills. So in Marine, when I'm training Marines, I don't tell them to push the button with their finger to send the slide home after a speed reload. I tell them to slap it with their palm. Be a caveman, because you're not going to feel your fingers. It's almost going to be like you're super cold and you just don't have that dexterity, right? And that's from shunting. So here's this girl in an unimaginable situation, probably from the look in her eyes to me, knows that she should not be in that situation. She should not have ever been in that situation. And now she's freaking out. Okay, they got him behind me. I got to keep my eyes up. I got to look for the, you know what I mean? And she's got all that probably for the first time ever in her life of protecting people, right? And not only that, you're already thinking something's wrong because the president's got blood all over him, right? So then it's like there's a million things going through. Did I just become one of the details that let a president get killed? Like, all this stuff's coming down, right? And Secret Service are told to, you go to the protectee, not to the problem. Why is that? You've seen all the guys diving in and tackling, and I will say I highly commend the ground team. Though she had issues with her badge and her gun, they did a phenomenal job, the rest of that group. Even that small little pit bull with the messy bun. I'd love to meet that girl. There was 4 or 5 grown-ass 6'6" fucking dudes on that pile on him, and when that little bitch comes in from the side, that whole pile rocked. You know what I mean? She was not to be messed with. And she was up in his face. She was doing what I would expect the other girl to be doing as well, if you're on that team. She was well-trained, well past what this other girl was between the ears, because clearly between the ears, that girl was losing it. And I give her a pass. Like, she probably shouldn't. You should probably be trained better. She probably won't be on Trump's detail anymore, is my guess, with the amount of publicity that she's received. However, I've watched grown-ass men who are trained for combat, trained to go, you know, fight for the nation, first tip of the spear, and I've seen them under under austere conditions, not do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
At least momentarily.
Mhm.
And in that game, it's a moment. It's a fucking moment this big. That guy got off 5 rounds. I told you guys I teach gunfighting with a company called Conflict Kinetics. I teach Marines. I teach U.S. Marshals and other people. And one of the slogans is see first, hit first, because how long does it take me to send 5 rounds down range?
Right.
How long did it take that guy to send 5 rounds down range? Literally,
Yeah.
a second and a half?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's all it takes. It takes
Yeah.
a moment. So we can't have these DEI equals DIE moments anymore. Not with the motherfucking president of the United States.
Right.
Not with Joe
Right.
Biden. And this ain't a Trump thing. This is everybody that they protect that leads the free world. You
Yeah.
can't have this so that we can say, ooh, we met the DEI standard. That shit needs to be overhauled. And I would say the other girl, that's not DEI. That bitch did what she was supposed
Yeah.
to do. She was on
Right.
it. She was trained. And this girl, again, outside of the context of the holstering thing, looked like she was trying to do the right thing too. Back against the wall, trying to back them into her body between the threat and the president. See, the problem is if those people were to try to address the problem, they don't know how many problems there are.
Right.
If they don't go to the protectee and they go to the problem, there might be 3 other problems. And now your protectee is over here. So as far as what they did prior to the holstering, I commend that team. What needs a closer look is maybe the strategic planning.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, what irritates me is that I think it was politically motivated, which is a tragedy and should be seriously looked at, because you look at RFK. RFK's had threats against him for quite some time. Incredible threats, some of them.
I've heard
And
3. I've heard 3 chances.
Over 4 months ago, over 4 or 5 months ago, requested Secret Service when he came out to run for the independent party. He requested Secret Service from the Biden administration. For 90 days, they gave him no reply. Then they denied it. Then the shooting happened, and instantly he got it. You can't tell me that's not political.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Nobody can prove to me that that's not a political act. And it's like, well, Jill was speaking and Kamala was speaking and Biden had a thing, so he's got to have that. And then Trump is like, well, Trump's going to get the short end of the stick. And it's like, no, you have a $3 billion budget. You fucking make the stick longer. It's like, well, he just has such big rallies and stuff. And it's like, okay, then you make the stick longer. Then you hire Homeland Security. But what you don't do is not have a comms plan, not have a strategic plan. You take an actual sniper team out there. It's like, maybe they did this. Maybe the sniper team was part of the strategic placement of where they would go, but it doesn't seem so, because snipers know the layout of that field. They know that's a chip shot, and they know damn well that water tower's seen everything.
Yeah.
They know damn well that water tower's seen everything. And you might say, oh, that's another 150 meters back. I'm telling you right now, I'd go across the street to Camp Lejeune and find a PFC that just got out of boot camp at 133 meters with iron sights, no scope. That's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
You back them up to 300 with some elevation and put a scope on, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So you got a trained counter sniper team from Homeland Security or Secret Service up there, and you telling me they can't protect him at a 300-meter shot with a big boy bolt gun?
Right.
It's a lie. They can, and they should have. And so that's what makes it weird. What else makes it weird? What else makes it weird? I don't know. All the accounts that this kid had tied to him overseas.
Yeah.
Or how about the shit that's coming out right now of the FBI field office out of Washington, D.C., and how many transmissions were back and forth between those phones? That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's a big bunch of bullshit clustered up in a bag, and we're trying to be the people to unfuck the disinformation and misinformation out of it so we can find the truth. But it's our own government that's distorting the truth.
Right. And that's why everyone is so fucking confused, because they go off of one thing and they get other reports and then they run in the other direction, and we can't just fucking get a straight answer, especially when the Secret Service bitch goes into
Think about how
hearing and doesn't
fucking
even
beautiful
answer
that
any
was.
fucking questions, just constantly. Oh, I would refer you to this. I would refer you
referred
to.
to the FBI, and then the FBI today said I will refer you to the Secret Service. So they're just like,
Right.
and it was like, and the only thing I listen, I think they did a great job. The only thing I just don't understand is when the president was in the car, and then you just see them running around. Those three like women were just running around like not knowing what to do. That was my like. I figured as a civilian, like when something like that happens, there's a structure. Like, this is what you do. You fall, you go, you take, you protect, make sure you get them in the car and you get them the fuck out of there. And everybody has a standpoint where, okay, this is the process. This is where you go, this is where you go. And then to see kind of like it all kind of unfold and kind of look, there's some people who look like they didn't know what they were doing was like.
I think one thing on that, Davey, is, again, and this is coming from my experience with the Marine Corps specifically, is when things happen like that, and as soon as the fight's done, all of my subordinate leaders then have to find their guys, touch their guys, find their equipment, their serialized gear, make sure nobody from their team is hit and needs aid, because when you're in the fight, everybody's in the fight. You're in the fight. You know what I'm saying? And so those girls or those women, those Secret Service agents, I don't even want to let those women and men, they were in a fight, but each one of them belongs to somebody. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the fight SOP may be secure, provide escape route to the beast. Once he's in the beast, find your leadership, make sure everybody's up, roger up everybody's leadership, ensure we have all serialized weapons, gear, and equipment, and then we're going to stage wherever it is we're going to stage. And if this is the first real world incident where something's gone wrong, again, all that chemical cocktails running through your body, if you see somebody doing one of these, it might not be that they didn't know what they were doing. It might be that they're responsible for 2 or 3 other people, and they need to find them immediately, because when their team leader says, hey, where's Jenny and Bobby, you better be able to say, I got eyes on them and their gear,
Right.
we're good, nobody's hit. And so we can't just Monday morning quarterback what looked to be frantic. That's like one time in combat, I got into a pretty bad situation, and the command was watching me from something called a G-Boss, which is like a tower, a telescope goes way up. It's got a real high definition camera, some laser systems on it and such. And they're watching me fight, but they're not in the fight with me. They're not down here, right? They're just seeing it from this view. What they didn't know is I was completely enveloped. There wasn't a whole lot of good options except for straight backwards, right? And here I have these people trying to dictate my fight from a big-ass lens up here. And so what we as American people, and this is both sides, need to be very cautious of, is we are being shown the fight from this lens.
True.
From somebody else's lens, and somebody else cut, and somebody else edited, and somebody else placed to pull on heartstrings and emotions of each side. That's what they do.
Okay.
And this is the run up to the election. So if you think that's not what they're doing, rethink that. That's what
they are.
Well, I heard a very
the same as the left's doing with the felon against the prosecutor. They're going to depict this, they're going to line it up, and they're going to try to pull at people's heartstrings. That's their job.
What were you gonna say, Mama?
Well, today, because Ryan. Oh, hi, Ryan. How are you? I haven't talked to you in forever.
All good. Good to see you.
Yeah. So, Ryan had mentioned like a little bit ago about how the sniper got off like 5 rounds. He said, well, Ray today said that they collected 8 shells. So he said that he shot 8 times.
Well, he said there were 8 shells discovered.
Yeah, that's
exactly
the weird thing. He says it. He said it in a very broad sense. He just said 8 shells.
8 shells
so.
discovered, and then he wouldn't
Expended
elaborate
shells?
on where.
They were all expended shells?
Yeah, they were all expended shells. He said.
Then he
someone had
probably
asked,
got 8 off.
You might have.
So he asked how many times. So which is odd, because you only heard how many shots though.
Yeah, but you got to think about.
They know.
It's hard. It's hard because after the first one, people aren't counting them at the time. We could go back and listen and probably find out. And he might have pulled a couple of them off quick that you're not hearing because of the first blast, right? So that might be kind of difficult. We could definitely figure that out definitely figure that out with the camera and audio, I think. But I think that's kind of a moot point, though, whether he got 5 or he got 8 off.
One is
Right.
too much. Really quickly, I just want to bring this up. Breaking news: fighter jets scramble after NORAD detects and intercepts 2 Russian and 2 Chinese strategic bombers in Alaska Air Defense Zone. According to reports earlier today on July 24, 2024, NORAD detected, tracked, and intercepted 2 Russian Tu-95 bombers and 2 PRC HC-6 strategic bombers operating in the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone. NORAD fighter jets from both the United States and Canada were dispatched to conduct the intercept. According to the military officials, the Russian and PRC aircraft remaining within international airspace and did not enter America or Canada's sovereign airspace. This activity by Russia and PRC aircraft in the Alaskan ADIZ is not considered detected a threat.
Yeah, that's fear-mongering, dude. And Russia has those routine flights multiple times a year.
Mhm.
They always do this and come out and say, oh, my God, oh, my God. And what people need to realize is that we're absolutely doing the same thing. We're fucking
Yeah, we
their
are.
drones up. We're spying on their people. We're flying in places we're not supposed to fly or that they would like us not flying in.
Yeah, we just get the
Now, there
reports of
was
the
some
others.
restricted airspace on the East Coast this week, and that was kind of odd, like the entire eastern seaboard for like the first probably 50 miles was, and I think maybe still is, no-fly zone right now, which is weird.
That is weird.
I haven't seen that, but
By the way, legally wrong says, sir, I need you to dial it back a few because I can only get I can only get so erect. But legally is, I believe he is a Marine, an ex-Marine, or I'm sorry, a Marine. Wow, fuck me, my bad.
I
Legal?
was about to fix you.
I know you were. I got that fixed a while ago. Legal is a Marine and a Bati boy. So
What?
A Bati boy.
I don't know what that is.
He's a gay gentleman.
Oh, sweet.
So he's cool as shit though. But yeah, and he likes to say the most awkward shit in the chat.
Yeah.
Like you put, oh Davey, you need to teach me that thing you did with your tongue last week. Never felt that before. Son of a
he
bitch.
says the craziest shit.
He's fucking huge too. He grabbed me and bear hugged me. He's the only person that's ever been able to just bear hug me and pick me up, like fucking Andre the Giant. But yeah, I listen.
My main hold on. My main question is like, besides all of that, we can go back through it. My main question still is, how was there not even just a local officer on the fucking ground around there, seeing how that area where the shooter was a staging area for the Secret Service to be inside of and some cops, but yet he got on? That's the biggest question for me. How was there not just somebody at least walking around there or something?
Okay, so I've tried to think about a lot of this too. A lot of this doesn't make sense, and a lot of it's personnel is what it seems like. There wasn't enough personnel, right? However, what I did come across was that there was, I believe, and don't quote me on this, there was a team inside looking out over this, like securing the area from inside, right?
Yeah.
So, like, in the worst way possible, we fucked this up and botched it. But how many people would expect a shooter to stroll right the fuck through the gut with a ladder and a rifle, climb up on a building, and shoot at the president? Like, you're not thinking that, right? Like Trojan horse, they're gonna roll right in. Not, you know what I mean? You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna think it. And then by the time people are like, "Hey, this dude's got a gun on the roof, guys," like he's right there. My issue is, how did that not get reported directly to the Secret Service and instantly he goes down?
Mhm.
How did they identify this kid as a threat 30 minutes to 60 minutes prior to when he was walking around aimlessly and looking at things? How does the president go on the stage to present if you lost him and didn't have eyes on him and didn't talk to him?
Right.
That seems very strange.
Very.
Yeah.
You could go to the president and say, "Sir, I am not, like, I'm sorry, I'm your detail. You're not leaving until we get communications that this potential threat is no longer a threat. We got some suspect stuff out there, and I know, but you're not getting out of the car right now."
Yeah, that's how it should have been handled. Absolutely.
And I think in his speech, according to him, if he's being honest, he said he would have had no problem waiting 15, 20, 30 minutes if they needed to handle a threat.
He's used to
So
being
that's
fucking late.
very
I
suspect.
know he's used to being
He's
late,
always
so
late.
it's not like it's a big deal.
It's very strange.
Yeah,
It is.
There's a lot of shit, and I think they said that was the first time he was on time for a
Imagine
speech.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
and it's the first speech that CNN has covered.
Yeah,
Everybody covered it. Hey, and look at the shares into Trump's business, and watch
Right.
how massive people shorted it 2 days before this attempt.
Yeah.
Massive amounts of shares were shunted off, and their explanation that they came out with was that was a mistake that wasn't
Right.
supposed to happen, and they don't know why that mistake was made.
Did you know that they
There
got to
are
refund it
two-
too? So they got their money
No.
back?
Really?
Yeah.
There are too many
Hmm.
coincidences. Too many coincidences for it to be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just there's too much going on and too much, and once again, and I somebody, and I forget who said it. They were saying that the reason why you get all these people who go into deep dives like Joe Biden's dead, and does all these reportings and everything like that is because like Laura Loomer did, because she listen, she's like Alex Jones. A lot of the things she says eventually comes out. She doesn't do it the best way or whatever.
Yeah,
but
she's
what-
been wrong a lot
she's
compared to
been-
Alex Jones, bro.
But I understand that. But she does say a lot of inflammatory things. But there's a lot of things that she gets right.
I was gonna say, dude, I think a lot of it has to do with clicks and money and views.
Yeah. But the thing is
Not
that
true.
when people go to the extreme and you start giving out these information and it starts going into the zeitgeist and people start picking up on it, and you get other people who confirm it, other people confirm it, because I don't like to just wait till one person confirms. Like, I'm not going to just rely on Laura Loomer.
No.
I'm going to wait till it comes out by a couple different people before, unless we're online, unless
like
we're live, and then I'll start to just throw shit
Right.
up just in case. But like with that stuff, I like to just see what's going on first and what's going on, like when Jimmy Carter's dead. But they say they do that, and they'll start to put that out there, so that way it starts to discredit people. So that way, when they do the actual thing that person said was going to happen, they just make them as they're just a conspiracy theorist. Well, maybe Biden had a stroke, or Biden did this. She said he was dead, but he only had a stroke.
Right.
And she could have started out with he had a stroke and this and this and this and this and this, and then ended up with he's dead. So they just go, well, I mean, he's not dead. She said he was dead.
That's
And
a
so
political tactic that Nancy Pelosi herself has absolutely came out and
wrap-up
laid
smear.
out for the people.
Yep, the wrap-up smear. That's what she called it.
Both
Yeah.
sides use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
it's
can we?
disgusting.
What's
Can we talk about
a
Biden's
commie
speech?
tactic? Go ahead.
Because I missed the first 7 minutes of his speech.
I don't even.
I was cleaning up dog shit. This is how my day's been. All right. I was on the wagon. I'm off the
Yeah,
wagon tonight.
I don't mind. We can re-listen.
It was exactly as you would expect it to be.
Yeah.
Said he was going to focus on the next 6 months on running this country and continuing to break glass ceilings that he's been doing the whole time, like the border, like crime, like I mean, if you would just watch Trump's RNC speech and everything that Trump said he was going to do, Biden just
Right.
claims he's done and will
Oh.
continue doing.
Yeah.
And then he put
Well-
his fervent support behind Kamala Harris and all the leadership prowess that she's displayed and experienced over the last 3.5 years makes her the best.
Because time of yesterday is today, and today's
tomorrow.
yesterday is tomorrow.
Tomorrow's yesterday was last week's tomorrow.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, look,
Who needs a Venn diagram for that? Fuck.
All right, here
Yeah.
it is.
look, I don't like beating on them. Like you guys, a lot of you guys know that. I try to.
Mhm.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing: when we beat on them, and when we give them the names, and when we talk about only the bad things they do, like that is divisive, right? And I try not to be divisive, because if I'm being divisive, I'm never going to earn points or sway anybody or inspire anybody to think differently or to be open-minded enough to even hear me out on what I say. And I'm not even a registered
Mhm.
Republican.
Mhm.
right? I'm an independent.
Mhm.
However, some people like to be divisive. It's clickbaitish. People like, it's inflammatory. It's, it's flamboyant, let's say.
Mhm.
I don't like that. I want everybody to be happy. But for me, and like I was telling Davey just prior to in Biz, like I'm not political online. I don't get online and be political because of how divisive it is. But I think
Yeah.
we're at a point where we, collectively, as a group of people, need to say, hey, this isn't working anymore. Like we
Yeah.
openly know that our federal government that we fund with taxpayer dollars is slapping us in the face with lies
Yeah.
every single day. And
Yeah.
what they've done with Donald Trump, like him, love him, hate him, it's absolutely third world what they're doing to him. That's not
Yeah.
just a soundbite. This is what people like countries like Venezuela do.
Yeah.
This is what
Right.
we do to Venezuela. You want to know what's scary? Is these
Yeah.
things that are happening to our country right now are right out of the fucking handbook that we use to flip other governments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Straight out of
CIA.
the handbook of
Absolutely.
PSYOP for the United States military.
Mhm.
So to think that with all of the lies, starting with, let's go all the way back to the Russian hoax, where a
Man.
lie was perpetrated, was stated, here's a lie, and a shitload of people said, yep, we know it's a lie and we paid for it. And then that
Right.
was peddled to the FISA court, the Foreign Intelligence Court that decides whether Americans can be spied on or not, and then continued to be peddled through it for 2.5 years.
Mhm.
All the
Yep.
while, the whole group of people knowing that it was dishonest. And
Yeah.
we pay their salaries.
Yeah.
So I don't care what side you're on. You could be on the left. That's fine. They lied to you.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
ate it up for 2 years and made yourself look fucking stupid all over the internet. And now
Oh,
nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to back down and say, hey, my side got it wrong. And they continue to get it wrong and lie to me.
I think
Mhm.
I know what you're going to say.
They've continued to make themselves look stupid too, because what happened in 2016? They've gotten screwed over for the past 3 elections. They wanted Bernie in 2015, in
He got
2016.
paddled out, put
And
out the
he got out, right? And then with all that shit, what was it? With the Yuan brothers, with Debbie Watsman Schultz, she got kicked out of the DNC chair. They put in Donna Brazil, and now Tom Perez is in there, right? Okay. Then after that, then the 2020 election, Bernie got it again. The people still wanted they were feeling the burn, and then everybody dropped out. Kamala got
That's who
no
Bernie
votes,
is,
whatever.
Mama. That's
Huh?
Bernie's role. It always has been
Right.
Bernie's role.
Yeah.
Well, now they got everyone voting for Biden on the Democrat side. This is our nominee. This is who we want. And then he's like, no, sorry, peace, bye. We're going to put
Mhm.
this bitch in. And she got no votes the last time.
Somebody tell me the legality of just switching over
So right now,
the delegates.
so
the
right now
delegate votes.
right now it's they're fighting in the FEC, and I think I saw something, a little bit of it. They're fighting the $90 million or whatever it is for all the delegates and everything like that for the FEC, and Trump's team has them in court right now, and I think there's some states that they can't do it. I heard
Yeah.
preliminarily, there was 9 states or 13 states that she can't be on the ballot because apparently Biden's already on the ballot.
Mhm. And
So-
he either has to be dead or 25th Amendment.
Yeah. So I think they're going to 25th Amendment him soon.
No, they won't.
You
I
don't
don't
think so?
think so.
But
No.
but I was going to say,
Trump would have to change all his shit from 45-47 to 45-48.
I know.
it's like
No.
it's like the Super Bowl team that doesn't win and they have the Super Bowl shirts for them ready to go.
Yeah.
Some
know,
kid
I'm
in
gonna go
Ethiopia's
see-
now got 45, 47.
Right. And he's like, man, the Buffalo Bills were rocking for a few years.
They just come from Ethiopia to the United States. Yeah, what about the Bills when they beat the Giants? What? Yeah, 92. No, the Giants won.
No.
They did. My whole life is a lie.
Well, that's the main thing. If they really wanted to make it go through, they're going to have to try and do the 25th, but I don't think they're going to. And from what I've heard is that Kamala tried to push it and they said no. But now they put her in the role and now he's endorsing her. But yet there's still the states that say that he either has to be dead or 25th Amendment. So I
So the
think
legality states that she can't take the campaign funding or the delegated votes for Biden unless he passes or unless the 25th Amendment's invoked.
Mhm.
That's the legal standing of it.
Mhm.
Hey, did you catch in his speech, like it was burning, kind of searing to me, that he was going to try to push for Supreme Court reform?
Yep.
Yeah.
You think he means he's going to try to pack the Supreme Court?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They
That's
talk
what I
on,
think.
that's a talking point for Dems for years.
Yeah, that'll
'Cause-
never happen.
And it's
Yeah.
also funny. Well, it's funny that AOC didn't say package. She wanted to like fucking impeach him because they're going
Yeah.
against what she wants, but she wants to say that. But the main thing is, yeah, most of them want it packed. And I know he said that. I forgot who else. I know Obama said that too, even though he's not in, but he basically runs the whole fucking show. But yeah.
Here you go for all you Democrats out there, and God love you. Vote your heart, and it doesn't bother me each way. I just hope that you do vote and partake in that right. But you're going to vote for a woman. You're going to vote for Kamala Harris. You got to really think about Kamala Harris and who she is.
Mm-hmm.
What has she done? What has she done with
mass incarcerated a bunch of people and kept them in jail actually for free labor longer than they should have. She tried to keep a guy on death row minutes before he was about to get lethal injected. And guess what? They finally got the DNA evidence and he was fucking out.
Yeah.
That's what she's done.
What else has she done during the summer of love, notably?
Oh, bailed out
money to
criminals.
Act Blue to bail people out.
The
And
Minnesota
does
Fund.
anybody know the amount of people who have re-offended in violent crimes that got out on her bail money?
Almost
No,
every
I
single one of
don't.
them.
That's
I
a-
think
just
one
a
or two of
question.
them.
It's just
I think
a
one or
question.
two that
Because
got out
it was
recommitted
suggested that 2 people got out on her bail money committed murder. And
Yep.
at least one person committed rape. Now, I think those are staggering low numbers depending on how many people she bailed out.
Right.
Right.
But let's just say that's true. If you are an independent or a left-leaning, or a progressive Democrat, I bet you'd feel different if that was your baby sister at 12 years old that got raped and ravaged. I bet you'd
Right.
feel different if that was your grandmother that got raped and beat and killed in her apartment
Mm-hmm.
by somebody that was bailed out by the next nominee for the Democratic Party for the presidential seat. That's
Right.
weird to me.
Mhm.
If you're a Democrat, it doesn't matter, but if you're a Democrat, all of the violent crimes that have happened due to open borders should offend you. If it doesn't, it's because it wasn't your little sister that got raped behind the university. But every
Right.
time something like that happens, regardless of who you are politically, you should think about that and say, if that was my family, how would I feel about that policy? It's
Well,
like
here's
border towns. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, well, it's already happening right now in real time, is that the media is going out there and saying, no, Kamala was never the border czar. I don't know what you're talking about. So they're already trying to cover their own asses on that and hope that people have a memory of a goldfish and are stupid.
Was she the second most powerful person in the free world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was she the second most powerful person inside the administration that needed to deal with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then it doesn't matter if she was labeled the border czar.
Mm-hmm.
It matters
Right.
that she's part of an administration that just let nearly 20 million people in the country, including Chinese, Cambodian, El Salvadorian,
Yeah.
and every other place that hates us.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
And
this
if
is what I
people
don't
don't think
understand.
there's not something big coming, there is something big coming.
Oh,
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I believe
There's
it.
Well,
too
there's
many
like
people
three-
that hate us right now that are in this country.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And a lot of them are American citizens too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sad, but
That is
I
sad.
know.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's true. And that's what makes it even sadder. But, it's interesting to me that they would put Kamala as I don't even think they really had a choice to put her as like the front running nominee, even though that her polling numbers of like approval rating before any of this was even lower than Joe Biden's.
Mm-hmm.
she's never
So-
won anything.
No.
What has she won? I
Nothing.
mean, that's not true. She has.
Well,
she was elected as the senator,
Senator
Yeah.
Senator,
for 4 years.
AG.
and she was somehow continue to carry on work out in Cali. I guess that's a little easier for her line, but
Out there, yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever she was running for her presidential candidacy,
She got
Before-
0.
no, it was
Zero.
2%. 2% was the highest she got. 2 fucking
Yeah.
percent.
wasn't she
2%,
one of the
but
first
no
ones to
delegate
back out?
votes.
She got what?
I thought she was one of the first to drop out of the primary as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
She was.
Yeah, she got 0 delegates.
After she got roasted by Tulsi Gabbard, she's like, I'm just gonna back away.
hmm
That's pretty good, Mama J.
Listen, hold on. Listen. Let's
I watched that lady on TikTok that does her really well.
Oh, it's fucking funny.
It-
She's
Oh my
it's
God,
really
she's great. Listen, let me I just want to maybe break the tension a little bit here real quick
funny.
and just I got a new Terrence Howard video.
You did.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh god.
Is he gonna blow our minds?
Hold on.
You know what would blow your mind is to watch the follow-up episode on Rogan where Eric
Yeah.
Weinstein
Yeah.
absolutely obliterates him.
He does. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And he does, but he does it
Eric
like intellect.
Weinstein's arguably one of
Yeah.
the smartest human beings on the planet.
And he does it intellectually. It's like it's very passive aggressive in ways, but he's very to the point with them. And I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, like Terrence, in this part, I see what you're saying, but none of what you said is real.
Mhm.
But I remember when I built the pyramids, right? It was tough. It was tough as a motherfucker.
You built the pyramid?
Yeah, because we was hauling all the stuff up like that, but we did it all with sound, right? We did it with sound, and then we had a blanket. We had sound, and we had a blanket, and it came down like that. You know, that's what I was tripping on. See, we working on his brow chakra.
Robert Downey
We're just in back of the crown
Jr.
chakra. And that's why he's been tripped up and he's laid on his car pavements and all that stuff. He's
What does
been,
this mean for us?
it means you'll be psychically attacked. You're son number 3. They're coming at you from all angles. They're coming at you from the Sirius, right? They're coming at you from the Orion, okay? Which also connects to Dan, right? Dan's best friend, man's best friend. That's dog. That's the dog star. That's Sirius. That's some serious shit, man. Now your mother, she's just a hoe.
That was a fucking great video. Wow.
Dude, I cannot believe I stumbled upon that today. I was like, oh my God, is this part of the fucking I gotta look at some of the fucking blooper reels from that movie
That is-
because I have it.
That's still one of the best roles ever fucking played. What he did in that. It was so fucking
Oh my
good.
god.
I'm the dude pretending to be the dude playing the other dude.
So good.
Yeah, so I had to break up a little bit of the monotonous, like
I built the pyramids and I used sound when they had a blanket.
and have a blanket, and then man's dog's bed, and your mother's a hoe.
That was great.
I just have to do a side note real quick because I'm very proud of myself. I said today that I didn't have time to do any show notes for you guys.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of what I did for
and-
you. I have it
and-
all color coded and different things with my.
and then I
little
took a
slides.
I took a nap and I woke up to a big giant 2-page fucking thing. I'm like, wait a minute, she said she had no time. I took a nap and that. Oh my God! But I
Girl,
mean,
today.
listen.
Let me tell
So we were talking about this a little before. I don't think I think we started on this topic about burning the American flag. I don't know if we did it
Mhm.
on here,
Not yet.
but
No.
but yeah. So this happened today. If anybody didn't know, what's going outside Washington D.C. right? Well, today I don't know what's going on right now. I'm thinking there's still going on, but you know they're protesting Bibi Netanyahu being here, and so they decided to do this today.
No, they're gonna burn that. They're gonna burn that. Oh my god. But the show.
No, that's them. That's not us.
Maybe that's what they burned the first time.
So they pulled on the American flag, and then they put up the Palestinian flag.
Yeah. I just have a question. So, for 8 years, Donald Trump has been called literally Hitler, a Nazi, and an anti-Semite. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
don't think he's been called an anti-Semite.
No, he was when
He
because
kind of
AOC was
he moved their capital to Jerusalem when he was president.
Well, they
so
were-
it's hard to-
when he was something was going on, and because I kept on yelling, his daughter's fucking Jewish, his son-in-law is Jewish, his kids are Jewish. They were calling him an anti-Semite at one point. I think it was right before the quote-unquote Muslim ban. I'll just add this to the stage, but yeah, they've called him every single thing in the book. You know, he's a Zionist and an anti-Semite,
Right.
which makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Okay. But then you have the same people who are calling him these things are these people.
Yeah.
And that's why you didn't have, VP Harris at his speech today, and 30 other House Democrats. I think it was like 15 or so in the House and 9 in the Senate.
She was holding up her lunch order.
Yeah, she should be able to advocate her thoughts, though.
Yeah.
I gave her props for even going.
Yeah.
Because the vice
Even
president
though
didn't
that-
go.
No.
Yeah.
Vice president.
Right.
But she's gonna listen. This is how much optics this is,
Yeah.
right? She's gonna
100%.
meet with Netanyahu behind closed doors, and they're gonna talk about
Right.
fucking Hamas up, and they're gonna talk about it, and they're gonna talk about all the restraints that he doesn't have behind
Mhm.
closed doors. But she will not show public support for him because it will affect her base
What up, Lone
for
Star?
the election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And
insane.
and CNN had a segment, I think it was Anderson Cooper and some other guy talking about how Kamala Harris could not pick Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, to be her running mate because he's Jewish.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. There's a video of it. I put it it's in the show notes.
Which one? Which one is it?
Tag that to
Oh, Shapiro. Here
Are
we
you
go.
you also like how BLM was like, what the fuck? They're like, this isn't democratic. And
yeah.
I-
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
I'll
I
tell-
mean,
There's a hashtag
Yeah.
going around on Twitter, like hashtag black and not, or hashtag not black and not voting for
Oh yeah.
a black woman or something.
It's just hashtag I'm not voting for her. I'm not with her.
There's that one too.
Josh Shapiro is being discussed as one of Harris's potential running mates. He also endorsed her tonight. In your view, what are the pros and cons for putting him on the ticket?
Well, he's certainly under consideration. I know that from key Harris allies. He's a first-term governor. He's Jewish. There could be some risks in putting him on the ticket, but certainly some of our voters here in Pennsylvania said, hey, we like Governor Shapiro, give him a look. Also told O. Anderson that some other governors, Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona, are on the list of the Harris team. One Harris ally told me today they hope to get her within a few days, assuming her path to the nomination continues to look good, and it does tonight, but we still have some question marks. They hope to get her a list, they say within several days to a week, of 4 or 5 names for her to pick from.
Sorry, fuck Roy Cooper, by the way. Sorry.
Who's Roy Cooper?
he's
Huh.
he's my governor in
Oh.
North Carolina.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to be out soon.
Yeah.
Listen, here's our favorite gentleman. This is what kind of got the conversation going today of Mr. Fetterman in a suit.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And she's been quiet. I haven't heard from her. I thought she was done.
Honey, who is that?
Kristen Cinema.
Oh.
Doesn't
It
even look
looks
like
so
her.
tiny next to him.
Hey,
Yeah.
can you just note, you call it a weird thing, or maybe it's just because it's not so mainline. That guy right there, I thought was going to be a disgrace to the position, and maybe he still will. However, he does not toe the partisan line, or the
Right.
partisan line. There's
Yeah.
things that they don't want him saying that he's absolutely said.
I know
And
my
so
favorite.
part of me is like, maybe he's just a regular guy because he thinks a lot like regular people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's a regular Democrat type dude. So he's not really a progressive. I mean, he may have some views that way, but it seems like he's a regular dude Democrat. 'Cause
Yeah,
my
I think
favorite
so,
thing
too.
is when he was like, "Man, why does China own any land here?" And I was like, "My man, like, yes, why?"
He went to fucking Canada and came back a different person. I'm gonna go get some
Man.
whatever he got in fucking Canada. Let me
I
tell you.
got him. I got to make the joke again. He had a stroke of genius. Fuck.
Ah!
All right, I'm sorry. I had to say it.
No, but
He
you're not
recovered,
wrong.
it's okay. He recovered and won his seat. Like, come on.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
guy had a stroke in May and got elected in November.
But yeah,
And I'm
was
glad
there.
that he's better. And I know I make the joke, but I'm glad he's better. It's good to see that he is better and actually talking clearly and doing a little better. And
My
Yeah.
question was with that whole thing, who thought it was a good idea to put Dr. Oz?
I don't think
Up
they had. I
against
think it was a lack of serious inquiry, right?
Yeah.
I think it was just
That's
a lack
okay.
of options.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I don't think good people want to be affiliated with Congress.
I don't think so either.
I can agree with that.
I thought this. I thought the same thing. Tim Pool just tweeted. Well, the Post Millennial. This is why I believe it's pre-recorded because Biden is resistant to the whole thing. I was gonna say I feel like it was pre-recorded. I don't think it was live. I think it was pre-recorded because when you saw him get off
Hold on. What? Hold on. You jumped. What was pre-recorded? His
the
speech today?
the speech he just
Okay.
gave. I
Okay.
think it was pre-recorded
Sorry.
because when he got
Okay.
off the plane, or when he was getting onto the plane, and they were asking him about, I don't know if it was off or on, when they were asking him about why he is not running, he was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, why aren't you running?" And then he just smiled and walked away. And like, so I don't
Wouldn't
think
look too deep into that, Davey.
Yeah.
you don't think so.
I think he probably barely heard him, and then whenever it started going through his brain, he's like, "Cause I'm dying."
I
Yeah,
will say
I'm
this:
not
the
gonna
one
answer
that I
that.
will say
Yeah.
that I think is really true is that his call to Kamala Harris.
That
There's
was-
no way it was a real call.
I don't think so. I think that was pre-recorded or something. Like I know that it was like the timing too or something, but it was really weird.
Yeah. I won't go as far to say AI, but maybe.
I don't think it was that.
But
I think it
keep
might have been a
bringing up the movie
pre-recording.
Dave because it's
Yeah.
it's literally all I keep thinking about during this whole thing is Biden's away, then all of a sudden he's here, and I was like, oh, it's like the movie Dave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All of a sudden he's somebody said
Aw.
ice cream. Somebody said ice cream.
Aw.
Listen,
It's
I don't want to get it twisted. Like I do not, and I don't think anybody here wants the president of the United States, no matter what fucking political party he's there for, to fail. Because if the
No.
president of the
No.
United States fails, we all fail.
Right.
Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like we're all going through this hard fucking time. The problem I have is the lying. And you know, and it's so funny because all of a sudden Trump's here and now all of a sudden lying is not like they never knew what lying was before. Like no politician has ever lied. And they're sitting there going, well, he lied 317 times. All the lies. You're gonna tell me Trump didn't lie? You're gonna tell me all these lies? Motherfuckers, you all have lied throughout the dawn of time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden Trump comes along and he's like, well, yeah, there's 10,000 people at my rallies. Donald, there was like 5,000. It was 10,000. Okay, whatever, 10,000, whatever it is. You say whatever you want, buddy. It's okay. You know, and all of a sudden it becomes Donald Trump said there was 10,000 people. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck?
Well, here's the thing. When he lies, it's about stupid shit like that. But when they
Yeah.
lie, it's about huge things. Like,
By
I
the-
don't know, Russia.
I'll say one thing that Trump didn't lie about is his fucking golf game. I watched that fucking break 50 that he did. Fucking good.
Uh-huh.
This is what I saw when she held up the sign. This is what I saw when I
Green
took
tab up, baby. Keep the meat coming.
He at the Brazilian steakhouse. Yes.
I've never been to a Brazilian. I don't get
Oh,
it. I've never
dude,
been
do
to a
yourself
Brazilian
that favor.
steakhouse.
Yeah,
They got a great one in Myrtle Beach called Rio's. It's at Broadway
Okay.
at the beach.
and so you have a paddle. Well, when I went, they had this little thing on. You put it on your like in
It's like
front
a
of you.
coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And green because they just keep bringing you meats, all different kinds of meat. And then when you turn it red, that means you're done. You don't want any more. So she had the green for the Brazilian thing. I mean, you bring me more.
That's funny.
My God, this is why you don't do this. When will they fucking learn? This is why you don't do this shit. You don't put
Yeah.
yourself in this predicament.
The internet goes the fuck off as soon as something got. They're like, oh, how can we fuck with this?
It's just
Uh,
it's so funny. But I just where's Jill, by the way? All of a sudden Jill's gone. No more Jill, no more Hunter. Like she was in front the entire time.
That's another thing to note is I think that Hunter has an upcoming court case as well.
Yeah, he does. I think. The tax.
Well, he has got
isn't the tax shit now?
sentencing
Yeah.
coming
I
up.
don't know what that date is, but watch the news stories that week.
Yeah, and then watch everything else as well. Yeah, I mean, because that's that. Well, look here, don't look here thing too.
I think
I'm still perplexed with what the fuck. How is she gonna run? I'm still trying to think of if she's even gonna be the candidate. What are they gonna try to fucking do? Because that's the only way they can allocate the monies if they try to put her in.
they're gonna push her
Well,
through.
she raised like $250 or $270 million on day 2
Yeah.
from her super donors or PACs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They were saying that she
It's probably George Soros' son. Like, here you go.
Well, that was the thing that they were saying that she raised what 93 million in 24 hours, but a lot of it, and this was my thought, a lot of it was all that money that that they were holding from Biden. That 90 million, they were saying that 90 million was coming from super PACs that they weren't going to give to Biden. So of course she's going to raise 90 million. And then I've heard that it was small donations from people, so that wasn't a part of it. So I listen, once again, nobody knows. Nobody has any fucking idea. It's all a secret. It's all dark shit.
Yeah,
And-
which is fucked up.
Yeah, and they don't tell us nothing, and that's the problem. That is the problem that we don't know as the American people. Like we said today, they had the Secret Service and the FBI pointing fingers at each other. Nothing ever gets solved. Have we heard how many how many times did we hear child crossings in the last 3 years? How many lost children? And have they come out and told us how many children have been lost? No, they'll just wait till the next Senate hearing and they go, well, we don't have that number. We'll give it to you. Well, you've told us for 3 years you're going to give it to us, and then they don't hold each other accountable, and it's it's fucking grotesque.
Think about how sweet it is tactically if you're the CIA.
Oh,
you know the director's got to step down,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not going to fire her because she has to go and answer to Congress. So she goes, she answers fucking nothing, knowing she's getting fired as soon as this is done. But she's going to go up and it'll be her name smeared in Congress, not the new director that they install, lying to Congress right out the gate.
Right.
So it's absolutely beautiful. She goes in, she's the director. She says, buck stops with me. She answers next to nothing. And then, boom, she's off into the shadows. Nobody's going to talk to her anymore because who is she now? The title is removed.
With a severance package of $50,000 a year for the rest of her life from the government.
Which is fucked up. That should
from the
not be
government. So now
happening.
she can go back to the private sector, back to PepsiCo, get her fucking job back at PepsiCo, and
I don't
just
know if she'll get a job anywhere after that.
If somebody was smart, they would try to fucking block that fucking sever. Fuck that. She doesn't deserve that shit.
I didn't know that until you just said it. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, every single one of them. It doesn't matter. If you leave, she'll get a job. She took the bullet.
What up?
What up, Jennifer?
Hey, Jen.
She took the bullet for this.
Yeah.
The proverbial bullet for this. So she's gonna get something somewhere. That's all she was waiting for. I guarantee you. That's all she was waiting for. She was waiting for a deal to get cut so she can get something. She got her $50,000 a year. She's gonna go work at some fucking high-end, some falutin Pfizer job or something like that, and just sit and ride into obscurity. And nobody's gonna do anything.
Do you think we're going to get any answers or any clarity when it comes to this whole situation? Or is it going to be like the Vegas shooting investigation where it's still, you don't have any answers? No satisfactory answers at all.
Look into Saudi Arabia on that.
Don't
do it while you're on live broadcast. I think that today I mean, this is just me. I think that today we have too much technology out there, too much eyes, too many people that have distrust for the federal government. And I think we even have a young House of Representatives that grew up with some of this technology and grew up with some of this distrust. And my hope is that they cover down on it. But you never. I mean, I don't think we ever hear too much about anything. You know, I don't think we heard too much about Reagan's. I don't think we heard too much about Kennedy's. It's still classified and locked away. And so
here's another thing, Ryan, you were talking about before is, and you're right. A lot of these fucking kids are well-to-do who sit at home in their mommy and daddy's house, whom their parents are well off, and they're here doing this bullshit.
Something I've been wondering about, I got to ask, it's the middle of the day on Wednesday. Do you have a job?
I do. Wednesdays, I have some flexibility, and during the day, I'm able to go do stuff. I got stuff I gotta get do.
We leave our job because
tomorrow.
Blood is not more precious than the resident children. That no salary, no slave wage is enough to stop me from actually fucking raising my goddamn voice.
Do you have a job?
Yeah, I have two.
I agree, and they ask the same question even when it's a Sunday.
So. Are you?
Well, no, just because today's Wednesday, I'm just curious what people do.
And you do think that we don't work weekends? I'm sorry.
Why you're yelling?
Because you are asking loaded questions to us. You're trying to paint us a picture that we're like unworking Americans. We don't do shit. Apparently, we are somehow villainized. This happened at Occupy Wall Street. Every fucking time we try to do something.
I didn't say any of that, though.
Yeah, you did. You said.
I said, do you have a job? Maybe you're projecting something. I don't know.
So yeah, he has a job. I have a job. I imagine most of us have jobs, but they're not 24/7. So
gotcha.
We can find time to do other things.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us.
Boy, somebody got real angry when asked if he had a job.
The guy needs to go sit in the sun for a while. You need some vitamin D there, emotional, but wow.
But that's the thing. They all get the thing with people on the left is they all it's a group think. It's an entire group thing. So if you ask one person, if you pull them away one by one and just talk to them, eventually you'll get people coming over to you and start pulling them. Well, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. What do you want? Who are you with? Who are you with? And it's just like, I'm just asking a question. It's like, no, you're not allowed to ask questions. Why am I not allowed to ask questions?
Well, I think
don't interrupt their group think.
Well, here's the thing though. The right needs to watch out about that shit too.
Why? I would have laughed if he would have said that. Yeah, I have a job doing your mama. Like, all right. I respect that humor.
Yes. But like that's something that I don't know. I saw a title today. I think Lauren Southern's going on Simpcast or something tonight and saying that she thinks that the Republicans are going to blow it when it comes to, like, I guess the messaging after Trump's assassination attempt. And I kind of have to agree with her that because that's all they do is they just get on their knees and they blow everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you mean? What was the context? How do they think they're going to blow it?
I don't know specifically what she's talking about, but from my perspective is like continuing on the messaging of DEI. I don't think that's the right way to, talk about like the reason why the failures of what and why this happened was because of DEI. I don't think that should be the message that they're talking about at all. I heard someone talk about today how they need to stick with what Kamala Harris wants to do, and things that she has run on before and her talking points, and like nail down on that because it's all horrible for the country. And instead of doing this whole either race thing, sex thing, or anything, it has nothing to do with that. Just stick to the issues themselves.
Yeah.
Because I think they're just going to blow it with that. They're going to just be like, oh, because she's not qualified or something like that. And it's just like, that's the same shit that the Dems said about Trump because he never held an office or anything like that. So you can't use that Like, don't use the whole like sex race thing because you hate it when they use it against us. Don't use it against them. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't know. I don't see them doing that very much right now at the top. I see the shooting.
Like the pundits.
Well, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do, and they all have laid down strategies just like the left does on what they say and when they say it and what tie color to wear and which shoes and all the bullshit, right? But at the end of the day, the bottom line is the American people need to remove the personalities and respect the office, right?
Yeah.
And so if I remove Joe Biden and I remove Donald Trump and all their flamboyant or Kamala Harris now, if I remove, because I don't like the president being unpresidential. I know he has the right to. I know there's a little bit of wicked genius in it and commanding headlines while you're doing other shit over here. I get it. It's unprofessional. It's unpresidential. I don't like it on a world stage. Sometimes it's what people have to understand, right? But I don't like it on a world stage. But if I remove that flamboyant attitude and the provocative statements, that's all to rile his base up, and that's by design as well. 20% egomaniac, 80% rile the base for votes, right? And so if I remove all that, though, and I say, just show me the conservative party's policy points. Just show me that. And then just show me Kamala Harris and her administration's policy points. Show me that. And me, as a working American who pays taxes, who gives back to the country as much as possible, I will then pick which one of those policy decisions and directions is more conducive for me living a good life. And if that's Harris, then that's Harris. And if that's Trump's policies, then that's Trump. But to fall in love, conservatives, with Donald Trump and not the motherfucking Oval Office is where we make our mistake, because that's where we get caught up. We start to idolize somebody, and he'll only have that title 4 years. Now, I said when he came down the escalator years ago that was the savior of Rome. That was the one person that was going to save the American people voice. Now, I got a little bit wrapped up in some of that, and some of that I still believe. But I have to remove that because it's not him. It's policy. I'm not voting for him. It doesn't fucking matter what he looks like, how he talks, what he wears, if he tans or if he golfs. None of that matters. What matters is, does he have the policies that align with me having a positive life and aligning with my first principles? And if we only ask ourselves that, and based on the last 7.5 years, did those policies make me richer, happier, wealthier in my life? Or did the left's policies over the last 3.5 years enrich my life and make it more conducive for me to live the American dream and pursue my happiness like I am allowed and have the right to do by being born in this great nation? And for me, it's a very, very, very simple process. I look at the top 5 points I care about. The Conservative Party has those. The Democratic Party does not have those. RFK, I like, but it's a wasted vote, unfortunately, in a two-party system.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're an American, remove the talking points, look at the policies, and decide which one of those is going to help you. It should be that easy.
It should be, and that is the bad thing about it. It's like it seems like all of it is a popularity contest anymore, because people there will be a lot of people that are like what you were just saying, especially more on the right than the left, from what I've noticed personally. Is that even though he's an asshole, but some people like it, some don't, and I'm on the fence about both. I kind of do in ways.
Do you think it's presidential?
No, it's not. But that is the thing. And then whenever you try to tell them, okay, well then remove that, they can't. A lot can't, and that is the bad thing, because people can't look past the brashness. And like even with Biden, I don't give a fuck if he is mumbling and shit. What are his policies? And guess what? They fucking suck. Look at the country.
Right. What do you think? Do you think Kamala Harris would ever ask RFK to be VP? And if so, do you
No.
think he would accept?
I don't know if he would or not. I don't think he probably wouldn't, but no,
Well, he's
she
already-
definitely won't ask him.
There is
already
a
has a
reason
VP.
that he denounced the Democratic Party
Yeah.
and ran as an independent. And they have spent a shitload of money trying to drown him out because they know his vote is wasted. But if too many of their party wasted on him, they go down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've crushed him. And he's a good man.
Yeah, he is. I'll
He's
give
a
him that.
good man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was at my company headquarters recently, and a lot of the staff there got to meet him, take a couple pictures, and kind of hear him out. But Joe Rogan did like a couple hours with him, and you can
Right.
listen to the man talk, and he's a sane human being.
Yeah.
He's a sane human being, and he's a patriot. And it's like, also he's not a member of the club, you know.
Right. That I don't think that can't happen, because if he's already saying he's not going to run, they ain't going to let him be VP. That wouldn't. No.
Not that Biden. The other.
Oh, what?
Biden.
Oh, Hunter?
Bo?
Bo.
Well, the reason why I even said that is because there's something. Didn't Bo like have supposedly maybe had an affair with her or something? There's some shit going around with that Bo may have had an affair with Kamala and stuff back in the day. So I'm gonna look deeper into that. But there's pictures
Yeah.
of them together and all this shit, and I was like, interesting. Maybe
Bo or Hunter?
Bo,
Oh.
because Hunter fucked Bo's wife. Remember that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, hey, before we just start crushing everybody, I know it's not like the olden days, but it was absolutely customary when this country was started that if my wife was to pass, she would marry one of my available brothers that was not married.
That's
She'd be
true.
taken care of.
That is very true.
So as
Yeah.
weird as that, it does seem weird today, but I mean, it used to be customary.
used to be, yeah, yep.
That's me playing devil's advocate. I think it's fucking strange.
It is.
Well, actually, do you know what? Patrick Bet David did a really good interview with Hunter Biden's ex-girlfriend, who he had the daughter with.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't remember what the woman's name was, but it was actually really good. It was a really, really good interview, and it was very insightful. So
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, he did a really good job with it. I saw a little bit of it.
yeah.
And yeah, it's dude, that whole family's fucked up. That whole family's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it was also customary to marry at 13.
Yeah.
That too.
True.
To prevent wars mainly, but yeah, it was a little bit.
Here's another example of kids who don't work, who are sitting there, desecrating Washington, D.C.
It's like, hold on. So I watched some of the live of these protests and stuff through, I don't remember, I think it was like AP or something like that. And what's interesting is they all call each other all comrade. So I mean, but they're pissed that they don't like the Democrat Party. They're pissed at the Democrat Party for not doing anything when it comes to what's going on over in Israel and Palestine. And they had an effigy of Joe Biden in a prison jumpsuit, prison uniform, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and I believe it was Oklahoma or Alabama. They had conflicting protests where they came together and started yelling "fuck Joe Biden" at the same time. It was the pro-Palestinian and then the against Joe Biden, and they all came together and said "fuck Joe Biden." So they don't like him either.
No, fuck all these people. Did everybody forget that there's American hostages? Did anybody fucking remember that when you fuck with American, even one I don't fucking like, as the country, we should go hunt you down where you fucking sleep. And we shouldn't stop until every American is brought back. And if you hurt some of them, we should demolish cities because of it.
Yeah.
We, as an American nation, you need to set the precedent that you don't fucking touch a hair on an American head. Because when you do, we bring the hounds of hell to you. And that's how it should be. And that's how it used to be. And when Donald
Right.
Trump was fucking president, like him, love him, hate him, or fucking completely, cast him out, he showed the picture to the Taliban leader and said,
Yeah.
this is your house where your
Yeah.
family lives. If
Yep.
you hurt somebody else, I just want you to think about the fact that I have a picture of your house. And
Yep.
nobody got
Right.
hurt. And when they did fuck around, he dropped the biggest non-nuclear weapon that we have in our arsenal on their mountains.
Yep.
Mhm.
That is American exceptionalism. That's American power.
Mhm.
Right.
When he says this wouldn't have happened when he was president, it didn't happen when he was president. That's like,
Right.
it's a fact. You can't really say that. We had good relations with Russia. Kim Jong-un was in check. Xi Jinping was in check. Backed into a trade deal he had no business wanting to be in. That's American exceptionalism.
Mhm.
And it's right here. It's polarizing.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
hard for me to fathom that we have American hostages in Russia, in different fucking countries,
Mhm.
and now in Gaza, who God knows what they did to him. For sure they raped him. For sure
Right.
they probably
Right.
killed him already. And what? We don't have our forces there? Damn
Right.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Why are
Yeah,
we not there helping
It's
them
fucking ridiculous.
just absolutely topple that people to where they never think again about attacking America? Because even the thought of attacking America makes their stomach turn because of what we did to them.
Mhm.
That's the standpoint I'm in. You don't fuck with Americans.
Oh yeah.
You don't touch them. And if you accidentally snag a couple, you give them the fuck back immediately.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you
but we-
beg for forgiveness. That's American power. And we have the power. We have an empty fucking Oval Office, though. And
Yeah.
if you're an American
Yeah.
and can't see that, then we need to talk. We need to talk more about it. We need to come together and get out of the echo chamber. That's what
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
to do.
Well, that's the problem now.
agree.
Especially with the internet, you create these echo chambers. Like I follow Reddit Lies on Twitter, and it goes through a bunch of the Reddit stuff and they post it, and these kids on there are just like, I don't understand if he wins again, America's has never been great. I don't understand why we're doing this. Free the Palestine, and these kids are just being brainwashed online to
Yeah.
think that America, we deserve this stuff.
It's not just online. Their professors are preaching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people they've entrusted and paid thousands of dollars to make them be a more rounded American citizen are preaching this stuff to them. And we've
Mhm.
allowed it to happen.
Oh yeah,
We
absolutely.
all collectively have allowed that to happen to our universities because
Yeah.
we don't vote. Because we vote on popularity.
Right.
Well,
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
That reminds me of this video right here. This is what is supposed to. This is what, if we institute a draft, this is supposed to be in the draft.
And there's a pancake on the front, so it's pancakes.
So that's pancakes?
Yes. Is this not pancakes?
Did you, and you read it and it said pancakes? Let me see what it says. Let me see.
It says blue on it and it has a pancake on the front.
Okay, open it.
Oh, of course it does this.
Yeah, of course. There we go. This ought to be good.
Can't even
Level
open
up.
it.
Level up, dog. Take your level up to the next one.
Yeah.
Can't even open it.
It has
What is it? Oh,
It's fucking Bluebonnet butter. But because it has a pancake on the front, that young gentleman thought it was a fucking pancake.
Let's be honest, dude. We're not drafting because we have a full volunteer fighting force, and that person wouldn't be a person on the front lines.
No, absolutely not.
They still vet that, even if we draft.
Yeah.
But it's still like, and I know.
They'd be
listen,
good in the chow hall, probably.
For me, I'm not. Yeah, right.
Probably.
For me, I'm not worried about that motherfucker being drafted. I'm worried about him and all the other motherfuckers that are like him
voting,
getting out here. Yeah, voting, operating shit that they have no idea how to fucking operate. You know, electrical systems, maybe even heavy machinery if he happens to get a fucking job somehow.
Yeah, but think
he's
about
about
this,
literally
right?
fucking
A young
retarded. He
kid-
couldn't even read
young
the
kid.
shit.
This is not a man. This is a young kid, right?
Yeah, that probably,
And
that probably has a
probably
he probably has a 3-car garage, and he has no want, he has no fucking desire, no drive.
well, we can't tell that from that video.
I
We
can.
can just tell that he didn't know it was Bluebonnet butter.
Because he has no drive to read. The motherfucker just been handed shit his whole life. This is the point I come with that though. If you're gonna be putting together something, even a crew of anything or anything like that, a sport, baseball, anything like that, who are you gonna pick? A kid who has a bunch of money or a kid who got his ass kicked his whole fucking life?
It depends on if you want to win.
It's gonna be the kid who got his ass kicked the whole fucking life. You go to coaches. Coaches right now will tell you if you grew up handed shit your whole life, I'm not picking you. You don't have any drive. You were never fucking told no. You didn't know what you probably have never been hungry before.
Yeah, I think a lot of those kids that you speak of probably aren't on the football team. I bet they don't go out. It's too hard.
Yeah, they try.
It's not easy.
Right. And some of them have talent. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be talented motherfuckers that'll be like that. But then all of a sudden they want all the money, but you don't want to drive for it. You don't want to fucking really put in the effort just because you have talent.
Did you hear that they?
You want to know what would fix some of our patriot problem and our flag burning problem and our general disdain for the United States of America and then probably a lot of our just commonsensical problems.
Mm-hmm.
If every swinging dick and split tail had to spend at least one term in one branch of the military or
100% agree. 100% agree.
I honestly believe that we should.
Go give your friends blood like I have.
I honestly believe
multiple years deployed to another country like I have, and then come back and tell me how repulsed you are to see kids burn a flag. When we talked about this a little bit offline and before the show, and when we talked about it, I gave the example of what that flag means to me. What that flag means to me is everything. That's my nation. That's my protection. That's what I drape over coffins when I sent some of my Marines home in 2010. That's what it means to me, but that is not what it means to them.
Right.
It's not what it means to these kids, especially inner city. That flag is everything that's ever oppressed and held their people back ever. That's what they think. That's what they're being taught. Right. And so I can't look at it from my lens without changing the lens and looking at it from theirs.
What up, Lone Star?
Right. I have a certain lens. Davey, Mama J, Biz, you guys all have certain lenses that you see life through.
Yeah.
And we don't see life through their lens.
Yeah, I don't.
So every day I grew up being told that the United States held me back, enslaved my grandparents, put me in the inner city, and held me down as a current day slave to do the labor that nobody else wants to do and never get out of the trap. If that's what I was taught my entire life about the United States of America, then yeah, I would probably be burning a flag too. Unfortunately for these kids, and I look at the camera to say this one, if you can't make it in the United States of America, you will not make it any place else.
Sure.
This is the best place to be able to make it. But if you can't make it here and it's just too god-awful hard here, I would invite you to leave this nation and go make it somewhere else. Because if you can, then kudos to you, boo-boo, but this has the most opportunity. There's a reason 20 million people in 3.5 years just flooded into this place.
Right.
And it wasn't because their home was a great place of opportunity. That's not what it was.
Well,
I get off the soapbox.
No, you can stay on the soapbox. This is another example of what you're talking about.
So Donald Trump was recently shot at one of his rallies. How do you feel about that?
I wish he would have gotten shot in the forehead.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's basically like teaching our country like what communism is like. So
you wish death upon someone?
Him. Yeah, unfortunately. I hate to say that because I don't have hatred in my soul at all. But I think the way that our country has divided families, marriages, all of it about politics alone, like it all really started with him. So, I mean,
so do you think wishing someone death is not hateful?
I would say, yeah, absolutely. I would say, obviously, I don't wish death upon him. I wish that he would be in jail for like the insurrection, which he should be.
Okay. Yeah, but you just said you wish that he would get hit in the forehead.
Wouldn't have made things a little easier on our country, but actually really probably wouldn't, because the Proud Boys would come out and start probably shooting other people. So
The Proud Boys?
Yeah, right.
Do you think that like 60% of the country are the Proud Boys that support Trump?
no, I think a lot of it is, wealthy people that only care about the finances, and there's a lot of ignorance, I think, in this country, and a lot of fake news,
think?
and a lot of just unhealthy, like, bias and political propaganda. I don't think we have we're fucked, essentially, as a country. Because we don't have a good,
True thing she said.
Huh?
That was the only true thing she said. This hurts to listen to because you can't make a point.
No. And even if it's everybody's gonna go, well, it's fake, and at this point right now, if you're saying this shit, you know what the consequences are. You absolutely know what the consequences are, because people have been getting fired left and fucking right for this shit. So,
which I don't agree with, to be honest. I mean, people can say what they want, but I just don't agree with it because I'm a free speech absolutist. They can say
I don't
what they
agree
want.
with it either. They should be able to say what they want. However, it doesn't. It's that kind of rhetoric isn't good.
It's
no,
not.
but like,
who are you to wish death on any person?
Right.
Right.
And then she'll turn around and go, what does God, and tell somebody, oh, well, the border should be open. What does God say about helping thy neighbor? Shut the fuck up. You have no fucking idea what the Bible says. You have no idea.
Oh my
You're
God.
not
She
gonna
said
I always find
he's
it
teaching
funny
how
when-
communist is. Like, oh my God, he's woo. I about wanted to lose it right there. Like he's teaching what kind. Oh, what's being taught about what communism is this fake ass fairy tale shit being taught in the fucking universities, the long march to the institutions. That's what the fuck is being taught. He's trying to go against it. Are you retarded, lady?
Yeah.
Well, see, they just repeat things that they hear.
Yeah.
It goes back to the groupthink. And when
Yeah.
you do individualize these people and pull them into a conversation without hate, but strictly just trying to speak to them,
Yeah.
it becomes very clear real quick that they have no clue what they're talking about.
Very true. Yeah. Very
They
true.
have they have very small. I was in DC probably a month ago, up there doing some training, and and there was this girl, and she was a full blown Palestinian supporter. Her father and mother were both Palestinian, and they left there years ago. And here she was, and the more we talked to her, the more she didn't even know basic facts about this war, like that Hamas set up rockets that they fired out of the hospital, and that one of those rockets was a short round and it killed a lot of people, and then it propagandized it and blamed it on Netanyahu. Like she didn't know that. And she asked me for sources, and I showed her all of them, even her sources. The one source she tried to hustle to me was Al Jazeera network. And I was like, okay, is there another one other than a terrorist run and funded network? Right. And she didn't have one. And so it's like in the group, and a lot of these people's group are on the internet. A lot of the first time these people have been out there at some of these riots and protests. And then they're in the group. So it's all one big, huge echo chamber. Sure. I would invite anybody from the other side to come and have a one-on-one talk with me. I would do it. And without hate in my heart, I would have the conversation, and I would be open-minded enough to have my mind changed.
Right.
They just don't take the offer up.
I know. Yeah. It's pretty damn true. I'm not gonna lie. One of my best friends, he's very left-leaning, and he thinks socialism can work. Blah blah. We've had this talk before, and I've asked him certain points about things, and it's usually they can never work out the ends to the means in any of it because they can't figure out the points in between, who should do what, and then they want bigger government to handle things, and it's like, well, isn't it already going bad? Well, yeah, but we could change. No, you can't just change and expect it to go good.
Let me ask you this: do you like socialism?
Absolutely not.
Is anybody on here like socialism?
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
I don't even like social programs.
Okay, I do. I like the socialized school that we have. I like the socialized medicine we have. I like the Social Security we grant our seniors.
I
We
kind of
have
don't.
some social stuff. We
No,
have
we do.
portions of socialism that better our society. Am I talking about full-on socialism? No, I'm not. But we have socialized things in our
Yeah, we do, but I
society
don't.
that have bettered it.
I don't agree with him though. I think that Social Security should go the fuck away. Personally, that's
Yeah, I
me.
think the what is it? The Board of Education should go bye-bye as well.
I think
Do
the
you
only
think that
social
it should go bye-bye, or do you think that it should be reformed?
I think it should possibly be reformed.
Oh no, it
and
should go bye-bye. I think it should be up to the states on how they want to do their education for their kids. It wasn't even a thing in the 70s. Like it wasn't even, well, it was a thing because that's when it was formed, but before then it wasn't a thing.
What was it like
I would
under
ra-
Reagan?
Huh?
Reagan had some of the toughest fucking socialized school policies for public education and
Yeah.
PT
All the
efforts because of
Republicans-
obesity and before sugar. Shit was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was good. There's no saying it wasn't good. It was good. Way better than what we have now.
See, and here's the thing: maybe it can be handled better in some ways. So you might to look at it in that way. Yeah, maybe it could be better in some ways or ran differently. And I also see what Mama's saying because maybe
There
that,
are
but that's
yes.
federalism.
Right. I don't want the federal government in our shit. If it's going to be something, it should be the local people. It should be the local communities doing that stuff. Not the like big government taking care of it, because then that's when it all goes to shit.
Yeah, but
The
so
only
the
social
problem
program
is-
I agree with is any social program that has to deal with the military. That's it. It's the only social program I deal with. Fuck Social Security, because it's a loan that you give the government until then they decide when to give it to you and how much to give to you.
Oh,
So
and
then
it's
all of a
taxed
sudden,
too.
yeah, and then you get taxed. Not only are you taxed while you're working, you get taxed on Social Security at the end. It's not like you ever not pay taxes.
And see,
so
and
give
see-
me my money. Let me invest in my own IRA. Let me invest in my own money. Let me do what I want to do with my money, and that'll be my retirement.
Right.
You know, it's so you still have people who are getting Social Security who still have to work.
Right.
You
Right.
have people who are on Social Security who still have to get who has to get supplemental insurance. So what good is all of that? What good is paying into a system when you're not getting what you
I think it could
gave
work
into?
better if it was privatized in a way and done better and stuff. I think it could work better that way.
But it was
It was,
called
yeah.
pensions.
Yeah.
That's what happened
Agreed.
is the increase of Social Security and stuff actually made it less likely for companies to have pensions for their employees. That's why when it comes to employment and stuff like that, that's why there's a higher turnover rate and people aren't staying in the same job at the same company as long as they did before, like a long time ago. Like people would be like, oh, I've been with blah blah ABC company for 50 years. That doesn't happen anymore.
Well,
Companies
yeah,
now and
agreed, but that
more
ain't-
and
that ain't
more
our
are
money.
getting rid of pensions.
Yeah, and
Like the company my husband works with now, they used to have pension. They had pensions. There was but they got rid of them because they're like, why?
Yeah, I agree with Mama J with every. I think shit can, and people are get angry with it, but everything should be on the state. You pay state tax, and the state gives whatever tax money to the federal government.
You
and
know,
that's
maybe
it.
a lot of our opinions would be a little bit different on it if our federal government wasn't such a piece of fucking shit for how many decades now. That is a good point to like be thinking about. Maybe we would all have a little
True.
bit of a different point of view on it if it was actually ran the way that it should be.
Socialism
And better.
it just hasn't been done the right way.
Nobody's done it right, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you
But
guys
they all-
want to know a big problem that we've had that has been festering for 50-something years? Is the dismantling of the nuclear family, and it wasn't by accident.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You removed God first, and then you put no priority on the nuclear family. And then
Yeah.
you paid people. Then you pay people who don't have a nuclear family
Yeah.
to make up for the fact that you ruined the nuclear family.
Yep.
And it's really
So if we just fixed that problem, a lot of this other shit would come in
Yeah.
tow.
You're not wrong. You're not
well,
wrong.
and
Yeah.
you think about it too, like it's really sick because there are couples who've been together for a long time, but they won't get married because they won't get paid for being like a single mom or whatever with like how many
Or
of her
their
kids.
ex-husband's alimony or so on and
Right.
so on.
Like I know like a friend of mine who waited to get married to her husband until her daughter was done with college because she got a special scholarship for that reason, and she had to wait until she was out of college before she could get married.
I have a
to keep
friend.
the scholarship. And
I have a
stuff.
friend who said
Or
we were
grant or
talking
whatever.
we were talking and I'm like, hey, you gonna marry your girlfriend ever? He goes, no. I go, why? He goes, because she gets $100,000 a year from her ex-husband, and if they get married, she doesn't get that $100,000 a year from her
Right.
ex-husband. It's like, what the?
We made it lucrative to destroy hardworking Americans.
You're not
Both
wrong.
men
Damn.
and women. It happens to women too. Maybe less, but it still happens. And it's like once you put an incentive on that, it's going to fester. It's going to.
Yeah,
you know?
I know
So-
people. I know people who, where I used to work, and you know, I was in a higher level position, and this woman, you know, to try to get her to work more, she would have a meltdown, a complete meltdown. And it turns out, I talked to some people, she didn't want to do it because she could only make a certain amount of money a year. If she made more money, she was going to lose grants that she got for her kids. And she was just like, and she'd fight and she'd just leave. She wouldn't do more, nothing. She would just leave because it was incentivizing for her to stay within the confines of a certain amount of money. And that's it. And that's the problem. Look what happened. I mean,
the problem is not the person. The problem is the government that incentivizes it.
Well, look what happened during COVID. Look what happened. Everybody stayed home and made more money than they would at work. And then how many people were saying, this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. This is not a good thing. And people were like,
Well,
no,
no
it's
one
and
in
yeah.
Congress except for Thomas
Yeah.
Massey. That's
Well, no,
it.
apparently it's all Trump's fault. Trump is the one who, you know, made all that happen. It wasn't, you know, the power of the purse with Congress who came up with the bill, who, you know, allowed everybody allowed to give the people the money. No, it's Trump's fault because it was under his watch, which he is contributing to it because he signed the bill. But you had people on both sides who were like, sign this fucking bill or else, you know,
Right.
JFK. You know what I mean? I don't know if that happened, but it was sign the bill, you know, and they're just blaming it on Trump. And they're saying, well, you know, he tanked the economy. Look how bad he. No, mother, like, and this is, and where you right, Ryan.
Sorry, I got you on a tangent. You were talking about people getting their checks during COVID.
But you were right, Ryan. Like, shit, you just messed me up. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
It incentivized people to just stay home and not do anything. And then when people wanted to go to work, you know, then it was like, okay, this is all done and over with. And they're like, well, I can't go back to work. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm going to die, you know? And it scares people into thinking this nonsense bullshit, you know? And people, that's how quickly it is. If you don't think humans are habitual creatures, no matter who you are, it takes 27 days to break somebody out of a habit. 27 days it takes somebody to change. 3 weeks. And they will no longer do that habit. Trust me.
Well, they got to keep going on it, but that's a first breaking point. To be honest, I mean, it's more like months but that's a first part of it. No, you're not wrong, and it's a first part.
Yeah, but
Well, it
it's
took
just
me a while in getting pregnant to quit smoking, so I don't know what you're talking about.
listen. That's because you're just like child's out of me.
I know 3 weeks of me not being an asshole, I couldn't do it anymore. I had to keep going. But yeah, I don't, man.
Well, I have another video really quickly that I want to show.
Okay.
I think this kid that's what I wanted to say also. Right? You're right. I think we should do what they do in Israel. 2 years of service right out of high school, no matter where you live. You leave, you're an American citizen, you come back, you do your 2 years of service, and then you're done. If that's it, that's it. That will correct a lot of shit that's going on with these kids nowadays. That'll take care of the fucking burning of the flags. That'll take care of, making sure that these kids respect. They grow up with respect, because these kids who are like 18 to 20, 24, 25, they got no respect for people. Look at these 12-year-olds that are, I saw a video of a 12-year-old kid running from the cops who got shot again. Another 12-year-old kid got shot by a cop because he's sitting there playing with a gun, pointing a gun, a BB gun at a cop. Why? What would you possess? What would possess you to do something like that, unless you were brought up stupid to do something like that? And you get older, and those kids get older and older and older, and then, like you said, they're taught that they're being held down. So, okay, here you go. Congratulations, you just earned 2 years of Uncle Sam. You want to be held down? You really want to think you're being held down? Here you go. We'll really hold you down now.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. Also, kids could be taught the right shit in school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
or we can, like Ryan said, I don't know, encourage the nuclear family.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Encourage morals, personal responsibility, shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, more people around the world have been chanting Free Palestine. Well, I've decided to see Palestine.
This kid's lucky he didn't get captured and raped.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now with that face.
Welcome to the Wild West Bank. Are you supportive of Hamas?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Are you sure he's not in East Palestine, Ohio?
I don't know. Look at all those signs. Look at the noodle riding KFC up
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
Noodle riding.
Yeah.
Palestinian people like Hamas.
I'm with the resistance.
Did you see the videos they posted of what they did on October 7th?
Everything.
And you're okay with all that?
With everything they did.
They killed innocent Israelis. They killed. Yes,
No.
they did.
No.
Yes, they did.
Give me a picture for rape.
Do you think Hamas should release the Israeli hostages? No.
No. No.
Nothing's named Israel. There's nothing named Israel? Yeah. The Quran mentions Israel over 100 times. Is Palestine mentioned in the Quran? No. No. The murders Hamas did on October 7th, is that okay?
Yes. They have the right to do it.
The problem is not Hamas. We should look at the bigger picture. They living under occupation.
But Israel left Gaza in 2005.
Sure.
What does Antifada mean? Violent. And neither one of us were born anywhere near 1940. We have to deal with the reality today.
No.
No, don't deal with the reality today.
Britain brought all the criminal Jews since 1948. They can go back. Hollanda, Iraq.
Most of those places they were kicked out of.
Jews have not been killed or exposed to any struggle or any violence. Not
Almost
in-
every country in the Middle East.
No.
That's true.
Educate yourself. If they are kicked, it's because of their own actions.
What did they do besides being Jewish?
They steal. They do awful deeds.
Does anyone here hate Hamas? In the U.S., it's a big movement right now. Queers for Palestine. Are you supportive of that? No, we don't have it. You don't have gay people here? No.
No.
It's like an alien. It would not be accepted. No, to be honest with you, no. Do you want to live with the Israelis in peace? Or
No. I want one state solution. No Israel.
So no more Israel?
Yes.
Israel wiped off the map.
Palestine فقط.
We should delete Israel. So you would not be okay with a two-state solution?
Of course not.
Israelis prisoners when they released from Gaza. They was smiling.
You think that these people are genuinely smiling after being held hostage? They're scared about their life.
Who put this in your brain?
I think you're in denial about Hamas. So Hamas implements strict Sharia law. It looks like in Ramallah, at least, you're free to show your hair. Would you want Hamas to be in charge?
They would allow for elections. Why
Haven't
not?
had elections in Gaza in 20 years. That's a fact.
Maybe people there want them.
Thanks for watching this report. It truly is a wild, wild West Bank. Peace.
They're propagandized so bad. It's the same like how she said they sound like the American like muffin, sound like the American dumb. It's propaganda. You don't get the information on the outside. You don't get the education of other things that have happened and other shit like that. I think that they are like that because they've been propagandized so bad that they cannot look past anything else.
Who are the easiest people to rule over?
The dumb.
Yeah.
But
Easily influenced.
Brando or Brondo.
the Plan C Brondo. Plants crave Brondo.
It's like at first I was getting frustrated hearing it. I'm like, and then partially through, I'm like, oh, propaganda. It just they propagandized their entire time.
I have questions. We were listening to Netanyahu's speech today and on Discord, on the off-label Discord, like talking back and forth and stuff. And I really don't know much. Like, so there's obviously other places in Palestine besides Gaza. So what is the big deal with Gaza? And then why would they say free Palestine, but don't they have like their own government and their own president? Like, free them from who?
From
That's
the
what I don't
Jews.
understand.
This goes all the way back biblically. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
I feel
mean,
stupid for asking the question, but I don't know.
No, don't feel stupid. It's hard. It's if you don't know, you gotta ask. I mean, but yeah, he could
'cause I
probably
get
explain it better than me.
confused. Like, I don't understand. They're like, free Palestine. I'm like, who's got them captured?
so according to them, Israel has occupied Palestine. In the Bible, it said that Hagrid, who was the handmaiden to, I don't want to fuck this up. Abraham is where the 5 tribes come from. So he slept with her because the prophecy from God hadn't been fulfilled and he hadn't had his heir, his son yet. And then after she got pregnant, his wife gets pregnant.
Sarah had
the heir comes. Right. Well, the prophecy was that his firstborn would inherit the land of milk and honey, being Israel. And so for thousands of years now, you have the firstborn being cast out into the desert, started which kind of led to that tribe, that group of people. And then them saying, hey, we were the firstborn. And then according to the prophecy, this land was promised to us. And then the actual heir is born second, but the firstborn to mother and father from the prophecy, and that's Israel, right? And they got the land of milk and honey. So now you have these two factions, these two, confronting factions that believe biblically and religiously they've inherited this land, and then you mix in Islam with that, and Muhammad comes along, which doesn't have a whole lot to play on that except, radicalizing Islam in a way that we don't know. Anyway, it's a little bit longer of a story, but the Gaza Strip would be right there where the two countries have all their problems because they meet and have a border. And it's always been contested. And a lot of times we've had troops there because it's been so contested. And now Netanyahu's had enough and pretty much eliminated the Gaza Strip. And then wanted to go deeper in, for like Rafah and some of these other places.
Oh, so he's wanted to expand.
It's not that he wanted to expand. They flew in and murdered 1,200 of his people.
Right. Okay.
And now, pushed him over the edge to say, no, there is no two-state solution. We're going to run you through. And the Palestinian people can stay with you and support you, or they won't. But if you're linked to any of this stuff, we're going to run you through.
I have another question, because have we found out? I mean, because like Israel, they have the Iron Dome. I know that they've had these like bombs going back and forth or whatever for a very long time. And they have a very, I guess you would say they have a strong border, right? Israel, right?
Stronger than ours.
So have we figured out, or has it been reported as to why or how the attack on October 7th was allowed to happen for as long as it did without response?
I'll say two things on that, because it's another one of those things that's very weird to me. If the United States Intelligence Agency and all of the different agencies that encompass RIC didn't know about it, that's a fucking problem. But if they did know about it, that's a big fucking problem. So it doesn't matter if we missed it or if we didn't. What would be interesting is that our number one ally, who has the Mossad and their own spies and their own assets and their own stuff, I have a hard time believing that us and them, or collectively or individually didn't know that was coming. And if that's true, then it would suggest that it was weighed, it was measured, and somebody said, let them come because I'm going to drop the motherfucking hammer on them when they do. But that means you let that happen.
Right.
Or for the United States, that means we let that happen because we didn't catch it and we didn't tell our number one ally that something terrible was about to happen to them.
Right.
So either way you slice it, it's bad. If we knew, that's bad. If we didn't know, that means these motherfuckers could fly hang gliders wherever the fuck they want on that side of the country and hit whatever they want. And we wouldn't know about it and didn't know about it. So I have a hard time believing we didn't, but it's equally as scary if we did.
Right.
Is Israel part of Five Eyes? The
Part
Mossad.
of what?
Five Eyes.
Not familiar.
Like the intelligence agencies of it's like the United States, Great Britain, Australia, and like 2 other countries.
I mean, we could probably look it up, but I don't know. I've never heard that.
Okay.
I was wrong. It was 11 minutes and 10 seconds. It just Daily Wire just uploaded the whole thing. 11 minutes and 10 seconds.
Under 12 minutes.
11.
Yeah.
What did I say? What did I say in the notes? What's the over under? Oh, I said what's the over under on it being longer than 20 minutes? I gave him so much grace.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's Canada, the US, Australia, Great Britain, and New Zealand. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
By the way, has anybody else seen what's going on in France right now?
No.
With the Olympics?
No.
No. What's going on? They do opening ceremonies in 2 days.
Yeah, opening ceremonies in 2 days. And they have supposedly Snoop Dogg is running the torch up.
Yeah. Which is funny.
But this person is carrying the torch next.
Who's that? Your penis is showing through your white pants. I was in on mute. Sorry.
But not only that, let me see if I can.
Man, everybody's looking at USA like you guys are gay as fuck. What are you guys doing?
And
Francis,
hold my beer.
Oh wait, no, hold on a second. So actually this happened during Biden's speech. He was talking about Ben Franklin and he got caught up for a second. I was like, are you talking about Ben Franklin who would go to France all the time and like hook up with hookers and shit and then come back? But still, he did invent bifocals, and I do appreciate that because I do wear bifocals. And if that wouldn't have happened,
I don't know.
I am a hot mess.
I don't know if you heard there was an Australian girl that was gang raped the other day. On the street of France. Yep.
No.
And so now this is going on to the Olympic teams.
So van got broken into last night. Luckily my bike's running there.
Although my bike bags were in there with some things in it.
That's
Crazy
Australia.
start to the trip.
That guy was Australian, or at least
yeah.
wearing an
Yeah.
Australian jersey.
Yeah, it's part of
Thank
it.
God for bag tags. We found our bags. All that
massage table.
No way.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, look at all your tools on the ground. Your gloves.
Oh, bro. Look at all your shit.
They ate your chockies. Oh. Make sure you sanitize that thing. I don't want to lay on that later.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you got your lip stuff.
People's shit is getting stolen now.
Bunch of heroes running around.
Yeah.
It's this Olympics. Listen, I thought Brazil was going to be insane.
Ooh, you remember how in the Brazil Olympics they had those big things up so you couldn't see the shanties and stuff?
Yeah.
On the beaches.
Yep.
I wonder if
I remember that.
I wonder if one day of the Olympics is just going to get interrupted by protesters.
Well, they stopped. What is it? Is it in this one? Okay, Dave.
Say it
here
already
we go.
happened.
Day one.
That's why I laughed.
Day 1, France 2024 Olympic Games. Australian cycling team robbed. Match abandoned due to violence. Trans women delivering Olympic flame. It's a fantastic representation of exactly where the world is at. They've already had a call off, abandon a match due to violence.
Did they really? Like, what type of match? Do you know?
I don't know. It doesn't
Does
say. It's from Concerned
Well, then.
Citizen. But yeah.
It's I love the Olympics.
I do too.
absolutely love the Olympics.
I do
I'm
too. I
so
love watching
excited.
I love watching it.
love
By the
watching
way,
it.
so they now, speaking of kids in the basements, did you hear what the Olympic Committee has approved for? I don't know if it's 2028 or 2032
What?
e-games.
E-game.
Esports?
Yep.
E-games?
Oh my god.
Yep.
Look,
Like-
I'm a fucking
like
gamer and
video
a
games?
yeah, I'm a
Yep.
gamer and a streamer, and that is retarded. That is not a sport. What the fuck?
Listen, I have to support it because my cousin, he's an e-gamer for his school, and he's gonna get a scholarship to go to college to
And I'm
be
gonna
an
make
e-gamer.
I'm gonna make fun of him if he's in the Olympics. And I'm a gamer and a streamer. And I'll still make fun of him. Fuck that. God damn it.
And he's a streamer, and he won't tell me what his channel is. and I'm
Here it
there
is.
with it.
It says, breaking, the first scandal of the Paris Summer Olympics is a fact. The games between Monaco and Argentina have been suspended after angry Moroccan fans stormed the pitch and the crowd threw firecrackers at the Argentine players after their equalizing game.
Hay un viento de cola y un estado de gracia que también le pega de frente al seleccionado sub-23.
Bueno, se desmadró todo, ¿eh?
Una locura.
Se desmadró.
Hay un viento.
Oh,
This is going to
Oh,
be,
wait.
here it is. A historic vote. The 142 IOC session votes for creation of Olympics esports games.
Provided to you by the IOC Executive Board. Who no vote. Is this correct? If somebody wants to vote no, then no, then this appears to be correct. And abstentions?
Without a doubt.
I also don't see an abstention. Is there an abstention?
Hello? Is anybody there?
No.
This thing on?
Thank you very much, my dear friends and
Bueller.
colleagues. With your vote, you have created the Olympic esports games. Congratulations.
of course
and
they wouldn't
thank
say
you
no
very
to
much,
it.
and
It's gonna
also
bring them
congratulations
money.
to
A
our
lot of
friends
money.
and partners from the Saudi National Olympic.
It's the Saudis who are bringing e-games.
That's funny.
Man. It's
Oh, okay.
How Like, is there going to be categories of games? Like, is it going to go anywhere from Atari all the way up to?
No, it's just gonna be like Fortnite and fucking Call of Duty. And
Yeah.
by the way, it says official Salt Lake City has been will be the host of the 2034 Winter Games. Get ready, folks! 2034. Get ready.
Utah. That's where they had
Salt Lake
Mountain
City.
Jews.
Salt Lake City, yeah. Mountain Jews. Man, I don't. It says pray for the Israeli Olympics team as it departs the Paris Olympic Games.
Jennifer said that the Saudis have been going hard on all things electronic related, including games.
Man, I don't.
Are we going to be able to have the Winter Olympics due to
Climate
change?
I don't. Actually, I just saw a video yesterday.
throwing a Hail Mary.
Well, according to AOC, by then we'll all be fucking dead because we have 9 years according to her.
Oh well, I mean, what's her face said 5 years. We had 5 years 6 years ago. Gretchen. Gretchen Thunberg.
She's not. And what's funny is, well, what's funny is that now that Thunberg bitch, she's not even talking about that shit now. She's talking about like she wants to defeat capitalism, all of that. Her end goal was fucking communism from the beginning.
I don't know.
People, when you learn the lingo, you can hear and see that everything leads to communism or socialism or like defeating capitalism, whatever.
Ryan, I'm going to mute you so that way we don't hear your conversation.
There you go.
There you go.
So I don't know if this is a credible threat either, but I saw this today.
Have a good night.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يستمر كفاحنا ضد الكيان الصهيوني نوجه رسالة
To address the
إلى
people of
الشعب
France and the French
الفرنسي
President Macron.
وإلى الرئيس الفرنسي ماكرون لقد دعمتم
You supported the
النظام
Zionist regime
الصهيوني
in the criminal war
في
against the people of
حربه
Palestine.
الإجرامية ضد الشعب الفلسطيني لقد زودتم
You provided
الصهاينة
Zionists with weapons. You
بالأسلحة
helped murder our brothers and sisters and children.
وساعدتم في قتل إخوتنا وإخواتنا وأطفالنا لقد قمتم
You invited the
بدعوة
Zionists to the Olympic
الصهاينة
Games.
إلى الألعاب الأولمبية سوف
You will
تدفعون
pay for
ثمن
what
ما
you have done.
فعلتم سوف تتدفق
Rivers of blood
أنهار
will
من
flow through the
الدماء
streets of Paris.
في شوارع باريس وهذا اليوم
This day is approaching,
قادم
God willing.
بإذن الله تعالى الله أكبر.
Allah is great. That looks like a puppet, by the way. That doesn't look like a real- that looks like a.
It was a mannequin head.
Yeah, it was. And the whole thing is when he says God willing means that they're not gonna do it. They just want other people to do it and shit. We'll see. That's fucking so dumb though.
It's. When did the Olympics supposed to start? Friday, right?
Yeah, the opening ceremonies are on Friday.
The only shit I enjoyed watching always happened at like 3 a.m, like wrestling and boxing. Besides,
Yeah.
the weightlifting
Oh my
shit.
God.
Besides that,
Have you ever watched women's speed walking?
You mean
I'm not joking.
you mean
No.
Karen to the Olympics?
These bitches, I'm telling you what. Like
Are you-
there's
are you-
one I remember. So my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, calls me at like 3 a.m. He's like, dude, I have been watching women's power walking for 3 hours. You need to turn this shit on. And I was like, oh shit, she's thrown up on herself. And he's like, I know. And she's still walking. It's like they walk like 10 miles or something like that. And they got people with little flaggy thingies that go in front of them if their heels get up a little bit and they flag it right in front of their face. You got women puking all over themselves like this, and like they're still walking. People peeing on themselves. I think one
crazy.
person even pooped. It was crazy. It was like I was watching my toddlers. It was like toddlers walking around.
Not for
Crazy.
nothing. Not for nothing. I hope the U.S. women's team loses for not having Caitlin Clark on the team. The best rookie.
Oh, the
best
basketball
player.
team.
The best player in the WNBA, and they don't ask her to fucking join. She just schooled every single one of them during the fucking during the WNBA All-Star game. And she not only can she shoot, she passes all the fucking time too.
Right,
Like,
so
she-
she's
I
actually
just
a
took,
fucking
sorry,
team
I just
player
took
and
him
good.
down.
Yeah,
Right now.
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah, she's an actual team player. She's all around a good fucking player. She doesn't want to get into anything, you know, and because what? The color of her skin? Is that why? It's stupid. She's the best fucking player
Mm-hmm.
on the fucking in the league, and you go, no, we're not going to do it. And don't tell me it's not because of her color. Just it's stupid. By the way, the U.S. almost lost to the South Sudan. It was 100 to 101.
Oh, damn.
Basketball?
Yeah.
Bring it up. I see you watching that shit. Like, pull it up.
Jones trying to get free. Into Carly Jones. 6 seconds left. Carly Jones on the drive for the lead. The good try by Gabriel. A second attempt, no. Davis comes out with it. And that
Are you
is
sure there
it.
wasn't a
The
foul in
United
there somewhere?
States
I think I saw a foul in there
hold for a win.
somewhere.
And South Sudan mere moments away from what would have been the biggest win in their country's history, perhaps in any sporting event. Jones trying to get free. Into Carly Jones. 6 seconds left. Carly Jones on the drive for the lead. The good try by Gabriel. A second attempt, no. Davis comes out with it. And that is it. The United States holds on for a win. And South Sudan.
Is it KSI? Look like the rapper.
They almost, and I think it was like an exhibition game or something like that because the Olympics hasn't started and whatnot. And I think they do have a couple games beforehand because like the Argentina game and whatnot. Because like soccer takes fucking forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, hon, is the women's team? I played soccer for 14 years of my life. It was like my life. I played it all year round for like 14 years. Crazy. I don't know. Like, I know that they didn't get into the World Cup because reasons. And I just don't know. Do you know, is there anything up on what you're looking at about that?
About the women's soccer team? No.
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything hiding her hair about the women's soccer team at all. I think they're
Yeah,
just
I haven't heard anything either. So I was just like, interesting.
This just came.
And I'm really interested to see how Simone Biles does this time.
Yeah.
Because the last Olympics, she got, what did they call it? The twisties.
The ick.
Or something.
She got the ick. This just came up.
Everyone's talking about all this massive influx of money that has come into the now Kamala campaign. It's absolutely bizarre. So where is all this money coming from? Swiss billionaire apparently lives in Wyoming. It's just crazy. This is who is making all these donations. The Harris campaign is using Act Blue. $20 million from Hans-Jörg Weiss. Broken down into over you ready with this? $20 million broken down into 1.6 million donations. 1.6 million individual donations across 400,000 donors.
That's ridiculous.
The scale of fraud that is now being alleged is mind-blowing. Everyone's talking about all.
Damn.
And I don't know. It just says expose Kamala Harris. This is from Wall Street Apes. Kamala Harris campaign donation influx is Act Blue money laundering. Act Blue Swiss billionaire lives in Wyoming made $20 million donation broken down into. Well, we just heard what you just said.
Isn't Act Blue like a part of Citizens United or whatever, the George Soros connection?
Yeah, something.
What
like
that
this.
open sources or whatever the fuck it is, or
yeah, the open
is it Open Societies? I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So much. Oh my god, my brain hurts from today.
So yeah, well, hopefully Ryan comes back in a few because I think we're about to be done.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I just Trying to see if there's anything kind of the fact that I mean, and listen, I get it. It's once again, it's the principle, the fact that the border czar. They said she was never the border czar, yet she was the border czar. You know,
Right.
It's the fact that they're just gonna sit there and blatantly lie to us. By the way, this is the guy who's going to be my fucking governor.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Engvall.
Oh, there we go.
Down
That's
on
great.
illegal immigration.
Hold on. There we go.
I'm Bill Eigel. I'm running for governor to crack down on illegal immigration.
Él es Bill Eigel y tomará medidas enérgicas contra la
Muffin.
inmigración ilegal.
Muffin.
No more taxpayer handouts for illegals, period. Nada. Zilch. Zero.
No más ilegales, no más dinero, no más fiestas.
We're throwing them in jail and sending them back where they came from.
Ay, caramba.
It's time to take Missouri back.
That was pretty funny.
It's like that skit where the guy just pointed to the guy and he just dropped the N-bomb. It's just like, give my money back. Listen. I agree with Ryan when he says we need to bring fucking dignity back to this shit, but unfortunately, the times we live in right now,
it'll be hard to.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to bring it back to where it used to be. But once again, we're not talking about policy. We're not talking about fucking what they're going to do for this country. It's all, this is what I've done. You know I've done this. You know I've done that. This is what I've done. This is what I've done. This is what I've done. You know I've done this because I've told you multiple times that this is what I've done. You know, and it's just like, by the way,
every time someone questions fucking something about Biden or whatever, it's always, look at what I've done.
They're so angry.
Mm-hmm.
So angry that the money train is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Can you? I guess
I can't.
I don't think it's the money train.
Who is it? It's Hunter. Who's the other? Who are the other people?
I don't even. That's got to be. I don't. That's the daughter who's
Ashley.
That's Ashley. That's got to be Ashley's husband. That's Hunter. I don't know who that is.
It's the power, guys, not the money. They've always had money. It's the power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, she's like the heiress to the Hines family, isn't she? She's a
Who?
Hines. Biden's wife, Jill. Dr. Jill Biden is the heiress to the Hines family.
No, I don't even know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Let's look her up.
That's the
I'll
former
find it.
bipartisan task force investigation. I hate when I see House votes to form a bipartisan task force for fucking anything, because we all know nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's
Well,
gonna.
the hope is that it would happen, and if it was to happen, it would probably be in a bipartisan task force that they form of Republicans that can get along with what Democrats they add to the task force.
Well,
Right.
but that was the same thing when they called bipartisan. The January 6th is bipartisan. They had Adam Kinzinger and what's her face in there. Cheney.
So did they have more than one party?
Yeah, but
So it's bipartisan.
I hate that. I honestly hate that, because they go, well, it was a bipartisan bill. There was 2 Republicans who voted for it. But that's not bipartisan. Technically yes, but in all honesty, it's not. It's wordplay. It's wordplay, because they say even if they have one,
though.
But even if they have one, they go, it's bipartisan. But it's not bipartisan. 2/3 of vote is bipartisan. It means that 2/3 of the people wanted it to happen.
Right. Well, I mean, but we also have the frame of mind and knowledge of seeing what Cheney and Kinzinger have done enough to know that they're not actually Republicans. But but by definition, it would be.
Oh, by the way, Jill Biden is not the Hines heiress.
What is she? She does.
She's Alice Cooper. That's who she is.
She's just a
She's
just
Howard
a chick
Dean.
from Jersey.
She's Howard Dean. Yeah, we're gonna Joe, you answer all the questions. Yeah.
All right, yeah, we can like
She's Cecilia. I don't know.
when that happened, that was like that was the
Her parents
equivalent.
may have mob ties. I don't know.
That was the
I'm just-
equivalent of her talking to a fucking 6-year-old. That was like the worst that I have ever fucking seen.
You answered all the questions, Joseph.
Yeah.
Tanker.
All right. Well, I think we're about to be wrapping it up. We're
Yeah.
almost at 2.5 hours now. And I need to apologize, Ryan. I am terrible at fucking introductions and whatnot. So can you please let people know about your podcast and where to find you at about that?
And your shirt.
Yeah, yeah. Choices Not Chances podcast. I'm on all platforms. I'm pretty sure I'm still on all platforms, but YouTube and Spotify primarily. Just like this, we talk. I talk about a lot of combat stuff, and then the way that translates to you, if you're not a combat person, is I then talk about transition and how people transition out of the military and into the civilian world. And it's no easy feat. And these guys talk about how to build resilience, how to reestablish purpose in their life. I talk a lot about giving back, because guys in my community, in the infantry community especially, because it's where the metal meets the meat, we give everything, right? We give everything that we have, to include our breath, to a higher power and a higher idea, the idea of America, the idea that I will give everything that I have for somebody that I'll never know and will never know me, and I know that they won't appreciate it because they don't know. And you go from giving that up, bigger than self, and then you transition out. And I've talked to hitters and what we call POGs, personnel other than grunts, the outside, the support mechanism that lets us go, all of those Marines, and they'll get out and they'll say, it was day one, I just felt it, is this void. And I say, because you aren't given to anything anymore. You have to give back. You have to find some way to continue to give to something bigger than self. That's that void. And that goes for everybody. That's not just military. That translates all over the place. If you feel down, or you feel depressed, or you feel hopeless, and there's a lot to digest right now, both politically and globally, geopolitically, and a lot of people are down. And it's like, if you're down, just go start with one small thing. Go do one small thing for somebody you don't know, and in doing that, do it selflessly, meaning you absolutely expect nothing in return. Not an attaboy, not a thank you, not a hug, not a nothing. Just go give to something. And if you do that and you don't feel at least a little bit better, message me, and I got some more techniques. But that's Choices Not Chances podcast, and we're just trying to unite people. We're trying to give everybody the tools to unite and make a better home for Americans. I also wrote the book Lions of Marja. You can check that out on Amazon.
You have it near?
What's that?
You have it near you? By the way, Haley says hi.
Hey.
What up, Haley?
Do I not have a book? No, I don't think I have one sitting here. I have one in a box over here. Huh? My wife's gonna grab one for me.
Right on.
Maybe.
Just kidding.
Maybe. I've sold a few copies recently, and I have to bust into a new crate. Lions of Marja, you can check it out. And if you want a little precursor to what that book details, you can check out a video called "The Inches That Matter" on YouTube, or if Davey wants to run it, yeah, that's the book. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get up with me through my Instagram, Choices Not Chances podcast. And you can just DM me, and I'll sign one up and personalize it for you.
Right on.
There you go. Sorry, it was covered up by my cigar humidor.
Yeah, there you go.
But on YouTube, The Inches That Matter is going to show you 6 minutes of a 6-hour firefight. And it's just kind of my guys on the second day. And it was during Operation Mashtarak, which was the gayest name you could ever give any badass operation, because it simply translates to joint operation. So I was part of Operation Joint Operation with NATO and ISAF forces.
Oh, nice.
So pretty intense deployment, pretty cool, because we wiped out most of the rest of the Taliban stronghold in southern Helmand province in like that year and a half.
I just put it in the chat.
Yeah, check it out.
Hell yeah.
And we'd love to see you cross over and check some of the content out. If it's for you, cool. And if not, we'll see you back over here.
Right on.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, guys. Oh, I gotta say this shirt. Shirt. I'm sorry. I gotta show it off real quick so you guys can see.
That's awesome.
It was made by somebody in my community that used a bolt gun and wore the cool ghillie suits that you think of. And it's pretty dope how the actual shirt's made. He actually carved it, out of wood, and then ink stains the ridges and presses like old school. I was just finding out about it. And there's going to be more to come, but check him out on Instagram. It's invisible.souls.art. And very affordable, not like what you're paying for t-shirts in the real world right now. And it supports, a local hero. And that's what I'm all about. So I obviously picked one up, and I actually just got it today. So it was cool that I got to get on here with you guys because it was fresh. But I like helping out patriots whenever I can, and especially ones that I know have been in the grinder for the country.
Hell yeah, man. Awesome.
Invisible.souls.art.
Yep.
That's it.
I'll be getting one.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate that, guys, because this is how it works. You network, you community, and we push each other. We don't need anything above us. We don't need anything big. We need a community.
Yep.
Remember, Mother Teresa said, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. Start at the family, the nuclear family level, and then we grow out from a community. That's how the grassroots movement starts, and it's we the people. It's not them.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know it was short notice, but much
appreciated.
It was like, oh, you know what? Let's have you on tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite, man. Always.
Yeah, listen, that's what we're. Listen, we're a fucking family, my friend. That's what we're here for. Just hey, you want to jump on? Yeah. Hey, you want to jump on? Yeah. Hey, can I come on? Yeah, no problem.
No.
Whatever. I give a fuck.
I mean, there's no shortage of stories right now. It's not like you can even make this shit up.
No.
True.
Oh, I know.
Very true.
It's insane.
And podcasts are becoming the way. I commend you on what you guys do, because it does take a lot to just put your face out there, and they have everything on us. I mean, you listen to 20 hours of somebody, 30 hours of somebody, even if they're interviewing another person, you learn that person.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we've given everything in an era where this digital shit, could come around and smack us. But we put it out there because everybody else was lying. The mainstream media, the legacy media, everybody was controlled by the powers and by the money, and they were lying, and people knew that, and they started to wake up to it a couple elections ago, I think. But now it's to the point where everybody is allowed to have an opinion. And what's great about that is you start to build that movement, you start to build that following for your show, and that's how we can affect it. And then communities join and say, hey, we're not that far off from each other. These are everyday Americans just sitting here having a garage conversation about things they're watching. And so it's awesome, guy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like the local fucking dive bar where everybody's just fucking, yeah, you see what happened? Yeah, you see what happened? Yeah, look at that. Did you see this chick? Yeah, you see that dude? What the fuck is wrong with that guy? And and that's what, listen, that's one of the reasons why I'm glad we did this, and that's why we're glad we're doing this. And yeah, it's great. It's great. It's gonna be a hell of a ride. That's all I know. It's been a hell of a ride, and it's gonna continue to be a hell of a ride. And and we have great people that are with us. So, but with that, anybody else got anything?
Nope. Oh well, actually, Saturday, possibly Friday, we might do a Stupids Play episode, but Saturday, check us out, Stupids Play. We just play games, and we're going to talk about some of the gaming stuff coming up and everything else. There's a few things that are, if you're interested in any of that, but there's some cool gaming stuff that is happening in that world, and That's pretty much about it for that, Mama.
Oh, yeah, you might actually get a double dose of me on Wednesdays. Haley and I are talking about starting doing Pretty Antisocial on Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Yes, and then potentially another day and time, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah,
Right
come
on.
check us out there. And yeah, check out me and Davey on Weekend Hangover. We haven't done one of those in a
I know.
while.
Listen, I was out of it.
I
was
know,
out of
dude.
it.
I was like, "Are you gonna make it?"
No, I wasn't gonna. But listen, I think everybody's vacations are done and everything like that. I know ours are. The next thing.
I'm
The
not
next
allowed
thing
to
I
go on one anymore.
No, you're not.
Presidents
Neither.
get potentially assassinated on my birthday. I can't have a birthday anymore either.
Listen, I've already been told I'm allowed to go see Biz, not you. I can't go past Indiana.
No.
I've been told I can't change time zones anymore. I gotta just
Nope.
stay here. Every time I go towards the East Coast, I come back with something. The only time I didn't was when I went to Florida. I went to Florida and I came back and I was fine. Every other time I go towards the East Coast, I come back, something's wrong. So, but yeah,
You
so
get down with the sickness, as they say.
Everybody come we get down with the sickness. But yeah, I think so. We
That
should
North
be
Carolina pine pollen to fuck you up, baby.
Absolutely, it will. You
You're
should have
not
seen me the first year back here. Holy crap! For 3 months, it was like I had I couldn't sleep. It was awful.
I
This
look like
year,
the fucking
it's
ghoul
better.
from Fallout when I come back.
Oh my god, the last show we did was when I was sick, wasn't it? When we had to stop early because I just kept sneezing and my eyes were so watery. You could see them through the screen and through my glasses.
Yeah, I don't think
They
we've done
kept
that.
getting worse and worse.
Between
Oh my god.
vacations and sickness and everything like that, we haven't done a show in almost a month. But we shall be returning to regular scheduled program. I know, like I said, nothing until the baby's born. I think all vacations are done, so we'll get back to your regular scheduled program now that summer's coming to an end. Spencer goes back to school in a couple weeks. Not even like I think the beginning of August. I think he goes back to
So
school.
is Cooper.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, but thank you for joining us this week. Don't forget tomorrow I will be me and Rich off labels tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then, like we said, Tuesday, hit the ground running. Don't forget Friday, 5 a.m. Ryan's Choices Not Chances comes out. Don't forget every Friday. Are you gonna go live soon or well, you can't go live with your
doing the
schedule yet.
recording.
I can, but I'm not going live with my guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I understand. It's a lot because you got to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
I forgot. Listen, I'm a retard, okay? I can't forget things like that. When you said I can, it snapped in my brain. I was like, that's right, you can't.
I'll tell you a story of why, and I'll leave names out of it.
Okay.
All right.
I had a Vietnam veteran who was a decorated Vietnam veteran. Got out as a lieutenant colonel, but when he was in Vietnam, if you ever heard of the epic Battle of Hue City, so right after Hue City, he took over the company, what was left of it, which wasn't a lot, and then they built it back up. Anyway, long story. In the episode, we're getting lost in conversation, and we're both war fighters, so we're like in that mode. And I asked a question. So I asked him a question because there was a big operation going on, and at the time he was an advisor. And so the question was like, well, damn, Dave, like, are you getting reports coming back from the front lines on these operations to stay like in tune with it? Or like as an advisor, like what's your day-to-day like when this is going on? Damn, I just said his name. I can't tell you.
And with that, we will see you next week, folks. Love you, miss you.
No, he said he let us off soft. Basically, he said something that you wouldn't anticipate an older gentleman who's likely a deacon at his church and part of like, a bunch of organizations. He said something that would ruffle that. And the cool thing is we eat breakfast, the next morning. He's like, hey, I'd really, rather leave that out. He said we were lost in conversation and I'm just rapping with another Marine. I got a little comfortable. And so because of things like that,
Right.
and some guys can be very emotional on my show.
Yeah.
You know, about different stuff.
Yeah.
And I always want them to have not to censor anything, but you know, I always want them to have the option to get their shit together and not be misrepresented.
Absolutely.
Because I think the worst thing you could do would be to misrepresent somebody outside of what they truly mean and feel.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
Anybody
Hell
can
yeah.
have an accidental slip up, and
I should have
with
ended
a live
it.
stream. With a live stream, you can't do that. So, all right, I'm done.
Right.
No, I was gonna say I really should have just hit that end button, just left it the way it was, but no.
But yeah.
thank you.
Well, on that note, catch us same bad time, same bad channel next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you then. Love y'all. Have a good fucking night.